I have to say, those X's make it much easier to read what I got and what I don't got versus having it coloured in.
Well, that's why I went to the effort of updating it for people. You know exactly how many you have. So welcome to session number 44, or season 4, episode 5. As I'll move the mic closer for other people to be able to be heard, making sure that it's actually on correct. Because if it's on the wrong settings, it tends to cause problems. Okay, so all microphones working properly and everything seems to be running, so we'll get the people online to introduce themselves first, starting off with Mark.
Thank you. I'm playing Ash, the Deathwatch Mandalorian. I'm here just to provide the support needed for the party.
And I'm sure you're a great support too.
I am. People can lean on my shoulder if they want to.
Just that you can't leave your gun in your ship because there's not enough space.
You really, seriously, you got a ship but no space for the gun that you brought?
It can sit with him, but he can't stow it.
Oh.
So it's the equivalent of leaving it in the cockpit seat for everyone to see and steal.
Okay. You might need to get you a case for that thing.
I'm working on. I'm saving my money up.
Hey,
doesn't he have the canopy tinted?
Go to the local quilting group.
I haven't got that money yet. Done that yet. Can we spend a destiny point that his canopy is tinted?
No, you can't.
I reckon it'll look cool. He fronts up with his flies around with tinted canopy because he's so
look,
cool.
if you're going to spend a destiny point to do that, I'm going to spray paint it.
But what I want to see is Mark's character with all his big armor and his huge ass Gatling gun type thing, ringing up his mum and going, I wonder if you and the sewing circle could patch together some kind of for my gun. And having her say, only if you eat your veggies and behave.
Okay, what about it being tinted and it's got pink ponies all over it?
Please stop trying to do other people's characters. It's Mark's character, so he should get the choice of what he does with it. And please don't spend destiny points to change other people's characters' aspects.
I think I was joking.
I know, but the thing is, when it's called like that officially by the rules, it can just be done whether the person wants it to or not. Okay. So if you say I spend a destiny point, I should reach over and flip it automatically because you're doing so.
You did say can. So we could have said no.
Yes. But the thing is, it was me that says yes or no. Whatever the party wants, they don't have a say once he calls that.
Well, fortunately, you're a nice enough GM.
Yes, that's what I'm saying is if you're doing things like that, then technically I can just say it automatically flips.
Yeah, it's more for other GMs out in the world who might not know.
Yeah. And when you actually start saying those things, it does become problematic. So Ross, you're up next.
Yes, I am playing Led, the assassin gadgeteer, wearing a very fine Mandalorian armor, which is the black with a bluish flame motif that goes into a wings along the face.
Oh yeah, yep. I see you. So you got some of the clan emblem in there.
Yeah.
Is that the armor you spent half of your money on?
No, it's the armor that I spent 90% of my money on.
Let's be accurate.
Okay. So, and so, is this where I suggest someone flips a destiny point for Ross's character?
No.
We'll be good.
Okay. So,
Tyrion just said yes.
apparently there's a cat print on there somewhere.
Meow virus comes back.
Okay, so, next...
Yeah, that's fine. I have it on the right shoulder.
We somehow
Oh, the
can't get.
footprint.
We
Yep.
somehow can't get rid of the meow virus.
Next up is Kesley.
Alrighty, I am playing Kaya Capier. She's now going by Riri. She is the martial artist tactician of the group. Former leader, now having to prove herself once again. Not trying to prove herself once again, while also very much respecting the new leader's position. I'll throw that out there. Yeah, here to beat stuff up. Spent money on a bunch of stuff to just be cool, I guess. A lot of sharp things. Should be fun.
I was going to say, aren't sharp things what Mandalorians spend their money on?
Yeah, normal things. Normal everyday purchases.
Things that go boom.
Yeah. So that's me.
Next up we have is Mike.
Hello, I'm playing a Gungan, as much as it
Hurts to say.
hurts to say.
Does it though?
It does, they annoy the hell out of me, but I've decided to go with it.
You're challenging yourself?
Yes, because I'm going to have PTSD nightmares of Jar Jar Binks. So my character's name is not Jar Jar Binks. My character's name is Brum Brum Crash.
And then I pointed out to him earlier today, that's it. When you bring it down to an acronym, that's BBC.
That's cute. That is really cute. In all the good ways.
I am a up-and-coming rookie ship racer. I am a Gungan who has coordination and I don't fall over like that Muppet Jar Jar Binks. I'm 2 meters and 22 centimeters tall. I have pink
So
and
you get all the stuff off the high shelf for us.
correct. I
And
have
you don't drop it.
no. I have pink and purple mohawk with blue eyes.
Because why wouldn't you?
Exactly. I have tattoos on each bicep and a tattoo on my chest. I'm from the Panorama Mountain Raceway of Naboo, situated next to the Burley Griffin waterways.
What are your tattoos? Have you figured that out
Haven't
yet?
got that far yet.
Yep.
You got the
healing.
N1 Starfighter?
The healing. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you can have your tattoos as sponsorships.
yes. I still have a few members of my family still alive after the Naboo Eastfield Shopping Centre Boxing Day sale massacre. The remaining family members are...
Doesn't sound traumatic at all. Not at all.
My remaining family members are Nana Miss, Lai Lai Truth, and Gin Gin Tonic.
Twilight is the opposite of that.
I'm sure you don't have one called Shaken Not Stirred.
Well, there's only 3 members left of my family. And my obligation is to find Toretto Dominic, as I'm borrowing his racer, while mine is missing because my racer was stolen before my 25th birthday.
How is it in this game that we have 2 different references to Fast and Furious? Because why wouldn't you?
Because
Why wouldn't you?
family.
Family. Mandalorians. It's all about family.
Oh, that's so funny.
And yeah, that's me.
I was going to say, because, you know, your acronyms of BBC, Martin is going to start learning how to do a David Attenborough voice, and when you're mid-fight, he'll do a David Attenborough narration of how you're going through that fight.
BBC also has another.
I know, there's different ones.
So,
This is the PG joke.
your name,
I'm going
Dom
for the...
As
yeah.
we're
is it
recording.
based off the kids' TV show of Bob, which is on the
I'm keeping
BBC?
it PG.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. We'll
Yeah.
we'll go with
Yeah.
we'll go with that.
And that brings us to Ariadna.
His introduction is not going to be anywhere near as good. I am Thane, True Striker. Long time big game hunter, skip tracer, new time leader. I am glad that I've upgraded a good amount of my armor and weapons because I'm going to need it in order to try and keep my lovable bunch of misfit family out of trouble. And that's me for today.
Okay.
Good introduction.
So, last time we had it, the group had just turned in their Twilight cohort who had managed to anger 2 crime lords in the same session, to the point that they both put out death notices on him.
Hey, it's a talent, that's all I'm saying.
It's definitely something.
Which does mean the party does have an extra 10 grand up their sleeve for turning him in.
Yeah, is that what we spent on the group stuff?
I'm not sure if you did.
I don't think we.
Because you should,
No,
you should
no.
have
Oh
him-
no, we sold the armor for that. Okay, so
We
we've got
sold the
10
armor
grand
and
for-
that's what we spent
I
the
would
money
say
on.
we keep that 10
grand
grand
for running costs.
Yeah.
Because things can, run out pretty quickly.
What session was this again?
This is session number 44, or season 4, episode 5. And you are up to the 5th day of the season, as you were heading to... Which planet were you heading towards?
Ooh, that is a great question.
That one doesn't
I think we
work.
got too excited with spending our 10 grand.
Here we go.
We are currently on Mercy.
Might have had a
That's
written,
right. I
but-
believe it was Mercy you were going to with it, because
Okay.
you were in Torino where you actually had dealt with the crime lords.
Yeah. I have
Did
that
we do Mark's?
we landed on.
We did.
We did.
We did him first.
I have that we landed on Mercy because we organized to meet with Kaggle on there because Kaggle
Yeah, that's
was
right. Yep.
trying to get away from Torino now
Yep.
that like
And
there
we
was
met
that
with him.
incident. or
And
whatever.
that's where we sold the kyber crystals to him,
Yeah.
and that's how we got all our money to spend.
So last
Okay.
night over there, that's where we are.
So Mercy?
You're on Mercy.
Yep.
You've just had a couple of days of picking up gear through Kaggle and his contacts.
Yep.
And you're looking at the fact that you do have some expensive docking fees coming up. Because, hey, using a ship's not cheap.
You gave me things.
We
Oh,
did.
it's on my ships. No, I've got it.
It's also on the vehicles page.
Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm going to my vehicle page that you gave me. So I know.
So it is 10 credits by the crew plus passengers
Worked out
by
the
days
other-
travelled is the maintenance, and the docking fees is 50 credits per day. And unless you tell them otherwise, they automatically refresh your ship. So anything under a day costs a day.
Alright,
They always
well,
round up.
I will always tell them otherwise because I'm a penny pincher and a control freak. Here
So,
it is. Do you need me to say I make that call each day, or?
Well, if you do it when you land, you don't have to do it until you land again.
Well, let's say I've done it when I landed, and
So, Mark, do you also make the same request? Don't refuel my ship.
for your
Yeah.
ship.
Yeah, because I'll have to get refuel in some sort of way, wouldn't I? Oh no. Well, if my ship was. Oh no, because we worked out the distance between the two planets was enough for my ship to still fly it.
Yep.
It was more that. Yeah, so I'd have to refuel and all that kind of stuff, I think. Yeah, so I would have to do the same thing.
So does that mean you're asking them to refuel it, or you're not asking them to refuel it? Because
I would have asked them to refuel.
Because what Ariadne was doing is, if you don't ask them not to refuel, they automatically refuel and charge you at least a day's worth of refueling, even if you only travel for half an hour.
Is there any reason why I couldn't have had a conversation with Ash and just be making the call for both our ships?
Well, it's technically Ash's ship, so Ash's responsibility.
Sorry, boss, it is my ship, unfortunately. Sorry, boss.
There's no reason to apologise. I'm just like, well, we could have had a conversation. I'm like, well, I'll call in anyway. Do you want me to stop the automatic fuel refilling your ship? And then tomorrow we'll have to have the conversation again, I guess?
No, you only have to have it when you dock the ship, not on a daily basis.
Oh, okay. So you
That's
do
what
it
I
at
said.
the time that you're landing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
You get charged for daily rates for parking it, but
Okay.
that's separate to the refueling cost. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, fair enough.
And you don't ask to refuel your ship because that's what they automatically do. You ask not to have your ship refueled.
So I only have to worry about our ship stocking fees.
Yes.
Do I have to do my ship?
Your ship will also have to be done.
Yes, I'd say.
And I think comparing the ships,
So you've got a ship, we've got a family ship, and then Mark's got a ship. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, Mark, your ship only has 1 day worth of travel with it, which means you never actually get the benefit of waiting till you've spent a day and just filling up that day's worth. So you're always having to pay for a full top-up, though you never fully empty.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
It's just so you know that with your ship. So if you decide to not fill up your ship and then you make a jump and you don't have enough fuel to get there, your ship just doesn't arrive. No
Gotcha.
one knows
Okay.
why.
Yep. I'll update my ship details on my piece of paper.
Because you'll need to keep track of when you don't update.
Okay. Cool.
Because in comparison, I believe the group ship has a couple of months in comparison.
We had 2 months worth of rations.
Yeah. So they can quite easily say 1 month in, then we top it up.
So it's 60 at the time of docking, and then it's an extra 40 when we're travelling.
That's why I paid my credits, by the way. All for fuel.
We currently have 10 grand in the family accounts from Auto's bounty.
Okay. Bringing us back to game. No, not that one. And that one. Making sure I can actually see things. Okay. So, you've been on Marissi for 2 days now after you got here. At which point you managed to meet up with some family of Maverick. Which happens to be a racer Gungan who has disowned him because, well, he hates the name. And the guy was so arrogant that he didn't really want anything to do with him, but he's trying to beat him on the scores.
Who's this Maverick?
No, that the new character, BBC. BBC hates Maverick.
But do you want to be called BBC, or do you want to be called
Broom Broom Crash.
Broom Broom Crash? I'm going to call him Broom. Broom. Yeah, I reckon, or Crash, I reckon. As long as you're okay with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Crash just sounds like a perfect name for a Gungan, especially one that's actually coordinated.
And
It's a oxymoron.
Yeah.
So it's been
and you see he's got quite the shiny starfighter.
So we've just met. And how did we meet? Like we just bumped into him half next to us, or?
Well, everyone's talking about his vast ship.
Okay, alright. So we're going over to have a look at the fast ship? Okay.
It's shiny. It glints like it's basically mirrored metal.
And it's named Pegasus.
Oh, nice. Is there like a little Pegasus motive on it?
It's
Hood ornament.
yeah.
Yeah, the Pegasus hood ornament.
Yep.
So, a horse with wings?
Yes.
I saunter over and I remark, I'm like, that is a very interesting creature. I don't think I've ever seen one in all my years as an animal ranger.
And it has on the side pilot Dominic. What's the last name?
Toretto Dominic.
Toretto Dominic.
Toretto Dominic? Not Tyranno?
not true.
Oh,
He's got a bit of Tourette's. He swears a lot.
okay.
Yeah.
Right. I just thought you said Tyranno before.
No.
And I thought that tied into your dinosaur thing.
No.
Because that would have been perfect.
Yes. No. It was just for things.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I just remark on the creature being unusual. You know, having been in the game hunting, minced beast wrangling game for a long time, I had never seen anything quite like that.
Isn't that our captain's name?
No, Dominic Toretto Dominic?
Toretto Dominic.
Yeah.
Ours is
Captain Dom.
Diesel?
Dom Diesel.
Yeah, Dom
Oh, that's
Diesel.
right.
Got a good
Someone wants to
point.
be a part of the game. Do you remark?
Misa says thank you.
I can see yourself
Misa
just
thinks you-
hating yourself right now.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Misa says thank you.
Is this where Gungan becomes just Misa and
Yep.
then all the
Correct.
rest of the world?
Correct. Because I would crack the shits trying to.
You should have been spending all weekend practicing
I
this.
know.
Well, actually, I bought the.
Gungan Bible?
No. The false voice transmitter.
Oh, I see. Yep.
So that you don't have to sound like a Gungan.
Correct.
I was going to say, that is a perfect foil.
Correct.
I love that.
That was a very valuable 1,400 credits. That's why it was taking so long.
I was going to say 1,400 credits. Yes, I can see why you did that.
So do you go for the high-pitched, kid-sounding voice?
No, he sounds
Or
exactly
do you go for
like,
the Darth Vader sort of
he
voice?
sounds
The
exactly
Darth-
like the
Darth
actor Vin
Vader.
Diesel. You know, so that you can
So-
take off being with your ship.
Every sentence ends with Cos family.
No, it starts with family. It all starts with family. Family is the most important thing.
Misa says thank you. Misa, pilot of this amazing ship.
Is that? Where do you come from?
I am from.
Misa dad, Misa mum.
I am from the. Shit, I heard so much. From the. Oh darn. From the Panorama Mountain Raceway of Naboo.
Yep.
You realise you come across a smart Gungan.
Yes, I do. So you're a racer then?
Misa am.
Not the first race we were there before.
No, not the first racer we met before. Are you down here to do some racing?
Misa here for multiple purposes. Misa here to, yes, do racing. Misa also here to try and find my missing ship.
Oh, you're missing a ship.
Yes. Look,
And what was the name of the ship that's missing?
I've got that from here.
So your ship's called the Pegasus. Does that mean the Pegasi is missing?
No. The robotic unicorn is.
I suppose there's a finder fee for finding the ship for you.
At the moment, it's only 80 credits, but
I don't know that. You can tell me whatever. You can say yes, there is a finder's fee.
Misa says yes. There is a reward.
When did you last see your ship? A signal for the others to come over also and introduce them to the Boom Crash. Boom Crash. Sorry, I will get there.
Misa's ship was stolen 3 years and 1 day ago.
That's a long time.
That's a specific time as well.
Do you have an ID number for your ship?
I would like to roll, even though I've got no perception or anything like that. I feeling the intelligent Gungan, because it seems fairly intelligent. Is actually telling the truth, or we feel there's a bit of a mystery to this whole conversation. But
Okay, so you think he's trying to lie to you?
Gungans are.
Misa.
My experience in the Death Watch, Gungans are really.
So what is your character's perception?
My perception's 0. I've got no rank in it. I've only got, which is cunning, isn't it? Perception?
It should be on your sheet in front of you. I did send you the sheet.
It should be cunning.
Yeah.
Misa
No, I've got
says-
no perception on my sheet.
Yes, but it should tell you what the attribute is there.
Yeah,
I
cunning.
shouldn't have to look it up for everyone.
No, it
It's,
doesn't either.
presence. No, sorry, wait a minute. Perception. It's cunning, yeah.
Misa
Yeah.
says.
So Mark, if you say you have nothing in it, I don't roll any
Yeah.
dice and you can never do it.
Oh, okay, sorry, man, I didn't realise that. Sorry, my apologies.
So
Ignore
basically,
me.
you've just
Ignore.
said you're completely oblivious to anything happening around you.
Okay, cool.
So you've got
Okay.
a 0 in cunning.
He's got a 2
Yeah.
in cunning, so.
I've got 2 in cunning. So.
That's why, because when I ask what you've basically got a high number and a low number. The high number represents how many dice in the pool. The low number represents how many of those are yellow.
So where's the high number and the low number? I've got just 2 there.
And the X's.
Okay, so 2 and 1 for me, 2 and 0 for Mark. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that means that for Mark, he's only got the thing, whereas if you got 2 and 1,
Yeah.
you've got that.
Yeah, I'm going to be running perception. I was just going to get the initial story out first before I...
Is our Gungan holding anything back? Is he trying to be deceptive in any of that?
Misa truthful.
no one's questioning
No,
the truth. Mark is just
are you trying
saying,
to hide anything particular when saying
This
so?
is player speak.
No. Oh no. I really want to find my.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
So, you believe the Gungan. Basically, if you're trying to be deceptive, then I add dice. He's got no penalty dice, so he can't actually detect a lie because there's no lie.
Yeah.
And the ID number of the robotic unicorn ship is 169 169
Double five.
007.
There you go.
Okay.
I introduce him to my group. Who's got the best computers check out of our group? Ross, do you have computers?
I do.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I check
computers
on
don't
your
like
stuff
me.
normally.
I don't.
I know how to fix mechanical things,
Mark?
but I don't know how to play around with them and that.
Yep.
The computers and that.
I don't have computers, but who has the highest intelligence currently?
Yeah.
Or intellect, sorry.
Intellect, yeah.
Intellect of 4 for Ash.
Okay, so that'd be you then.
So, what I want is, while I'm introducing the rest of the group, I'll step back and have a very quiet word to Ash to look up the name of this ship, this guy, the missing ship, and the number, and send that data through to a data pad. I've got my own data pad, and the group has a data pad. So, I'll do that while, say, Kayana and, not Kayana, Riri and Led are introducing themselves to Crash.
Okay, I have no ranks in computers, but I have 4 in intelligence department.
Yep. And so you wander over to the terminal for the starport and start doing your searches?
I
presume,
do.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, so it's actually not too bad. So it ends up with as being you succeed with 2 advantages.
Not bad. So part of the information, Mark, Ash, I'm looking for is this guy a legit racer? And how good is he? And then also the legitimacy of what we've just been hearing from him.
Okay.
Oh, I don't do this in your ear.
So,
I don't offend you.
you get up that he's got multiple fines for speeding.
That's a good sign, actually.
In the slow zones. And currently has a couple of warrants out for failed to pay speeding fines.
That sounds like a typical Gungan to me, so I'm not too... Okay.
And the ship is registered to a well-known racer that disappeared under mysterious circumstances around the same time as Officer Fabio disappeared.
Okay. I don't know anything about Officer Fabio. I have no idea about that bit. So I'm going to...
But that is noted down in the data you're looking up that the ship is registered
okay.
to.
If it's in the data I looked up, then I'll go, okay.
And the ship itself is has a lot of interested parties wanting to acquire it with an offer of $5,000 for the ship.
What's the ship worth?
180.
Yeah, well, there's just no way we're going to be turning it in for a lousy $5,000. We'll be helping hold on to it.
But this is people wanting to steal it, not wanting to actually buy it.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is we want to get into, I don't know, illegal betting, and we've got a world-class racer here with a racing ship. So, you know, this could be our in for earning money through illegal racing.
So I would get that all sent it through the computer through to the data pad of my
Kai
boss.
is my current
Yep,
current
and-
designation.
And I would pass all the information. Mention the Fabio thing, even though I have no idea who this Fabio person is. May have heard the name, but didn't really kind of concern too much. Pass it all through and go, okay. And I'll just communicate to the, hey boss, information's set. I'll be back over in a second. So.
You said the ship you currently got is called Pegasus.
The ship that I'm currently piloting is called Pegasus.
That's robotic unicorn, is it?
The one that is missing is called Robotic Unicorn with the ID 169169007.
Did we get any info on the missing ship?
No.
No. Just on...
Because they wouldn't have any info unless it had docked here and was currently here.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. How do you look for that information more?
You'd want to get access to their records,
Okay.
which is generally not available for free.
Yeah, okay, so...
Or you got to break into their computer systems.
Who's there?
The government of the planet.
Okay, yeah. So that's something that we would like do a job for, is that right?
Yes, you could do a job for, but you wouldn't get paid for it.
Okay. Well, if you wanted to help him find his ship, we might do it just to find one ship. But
Okay.
at this stage, we might need to earn the money in order to help him find the ship.
Mhm.
But all right. Sorry, my brain's struggling with competing messages.
All good.
Messages mostly. Yeah, get rid of them. Sorry, I'm mumbling that.
No, sorry. So I've got Pegasus.
Yeah.
One is,
Yeah, I put looking for robotic unicorn has ship Pegasus.
Yep.
And I've got the number for robotic unicorn.
Yep.
All right. Well, for our finder's fee, we'd be happy to help you track down your ship. If you're interested in teaming up with some extra help.
Lisa, agreeable to this.
We might need to collect a certain amount of funds up front though, because the kind of information that we'll have to probably pay for. How do you feel about winning a couple of races?
How many funds?
I got
apart from-
5.
I've got 80. I've got 80.
I've got $1.27.
Assuming my maths are correct.
According to my
80
bank
correct.
statement.
Sure. Let's. Misa, happy to race.
Are you familiar with the racing clubs, I guess?
Misa has been here for 2 years, and Misa fairly familiar with the track and with the teams.
So one wonders how you're poor then, if you're a good racer and you've been here for 2 years.
Because he spent it all on the car. That's why.
Yeah, that's
I'll
it.
spend all on.
Would that have come though across
The
in the
voice
data pad
translator.
information that you've been here for 2 years?
It would have shown that he's currently here where he's docked, not how long he's been here,
Okay.
because that again is asking for personal information that is not publicly available.
alright. Okay. So you can't Google people here?
You can Google stuff, but he went to the Starport computer to look at what was registered
Okay.
and if the person was a registered pilot.
So what
So-
if we wanted to do more like that sort of a search, just to kind of verify things?
He could look into the news nets of the planet and see what the planet's got and other stuff like that.
You'd be
So I thought that was implied when I said we did a search.
I asked if he was going to the Starport terminal to look up the information. If you look up the information on the news nets, it would tell you nothing about the ship or its qualifications of being here,
Okay.
because that's restricted to the Starport.
Yeah, I didn't realise that they were that separate. I'm too used to our world where Google lets you do both those things on the one screen, really.
Well, you can't really look up the
It's okay, it's my mistake.
plane docking and all that sort of stuff on Google.
That's okay.
I was gonna say the equivalent of what we're doing is we're doing like a retro check on a license plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can on Google. I've checked other people's number plates and their regos before for
But that-
family and stuff like that.
But like it's just checking if it's registered or not,
Yeah.
and that's the most we can do.
Yeah, and that's all I was asking was just to get a legit check on it, and then see what other information could be gathered. But
Yeah.
if he needs to go to two
Here's-
separate systems and I need to state
Yeah.
that, then
I'm gonna pre-qualify. This is a joke.
Sorry.
This was a long time ago. They did not have social media at the time, so we can't just check his social history.
Social media.
Unfortunately,
He did-
surely
he
there's an
did-
intergalactic book.
He did get some information. He did get some information on
Yeah.
in related to Officer Fabio, so it wasn't all just one thing.
Yeah,
but
there's
again,
a couple.
he didn't get a lot of successes, so I can give a lot of information.
No, that's okay.
Totally
Because you're suddenly asking for things that, in retrospect, after the fact that he's actually done the search that I didn't know about.
Yeah, I was just asking whether or not that would come up. I didn't say, you know, if it needs me to get combat to Ash and ask Ash to look at other systems, I'm happy to do that. That's what I was asking.
I think that's good. So far, does it seem that our plan is to help Broom Crash win a couple of races to earn some money so that we can hopefully have money for bribes to try to find the robotic unicorn? I just want to summarize so that I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, well that'd be my thought. Plus we can start getting our heads around, like you've expressed back when we were on the
Other place?
the planet where we ended up after prison.
Yes.
You were expressing that you'd become a mini crime boss on the mining planet, and that you had skills, and you thought that we could use those skills that you've been working on to gain us money now in our newer lifestyles. So finding his ship as an excuse to start moving around these
Into
racing circles and these betting circles allows us to start learning how do the racing circles work, can we rig games, can we rig races.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
And so that's what I'm looking at, because finding his ship as being kind of a bit of a cover.
Yeah.
And so while I'm officially, being like, I guess, the private investigator face, helping find his ship, you can be crime bossing in the background and figuring out how to extort. Well, not extort, but figuring out how to make things work more in our favour than in everybody else's favour.
Yeah.
And then start earning ourselves some money. Out of this enterprise without necessarily stepping on Kaggle's feet too much. We've got to be kind of aware
that this
that
is
that's
part
a
of his
factor.
territory.
But
Misa forgot to say the robotic unicorn belongs to my father. Speed, stop. I neglected to mention that.
I feel that that's in the wrong order for some reason. That might be because of the way I speak.
What type of racer is it? What type of ship is it?
It's an S type.
The one that I have, it is a S type racing sloop. Brackets nuclear star drives.
Okay, so highly likely it's been probably sold as parts because they could probably sell.
No, that's the ship. That's the ship he's got now, not the ship he's looking for.
Yeah, so that's.
Oh no, I was after knowing what the ship that you're looking for.
Where's that information?
Ships.
Unfortunately, that's the only racing ship I know of at this stage. I haven't gone through all the books yet.
That information is soon to come.
Yes. Yes.
It's a fast one.
So actually, if it came from Naboo, it'll probably be a custom one because Naboo really make customized ships.
Naboo doesn't make ships. Naboo buys ships.
It's Nubia.
Oh, okay. I thought they. Okay then.
As in Nubia, not.
Nubia is not based on Naboo. It's based near Corellia, and they literally take the ships out to Naboo, and Naboo pay for it because Naboo has money.
Yeah. So okay, in that case, it'll be probably a fully customized one. So it could be just a one-of-a-kind ship.
Which is what he has currently now. So the S-Type is a one-of-a-kind racing ship.
Which was hard to find pictures of on Google.
Because they didn't draw any pictures of it.
Of which I do have a picture of said ship, which is...
Ooh. It is fancy. Oh, right here.
Oh, there it is.
Angle it. Look at it.
So does this racing ship actually have any defensive capability?
It's fast.
Other than speed?
It has armor of 1.
+1.
armor of 1, silhouette 3, speed 6, handling +1.
It's real fast.
It goes broom. And then goes broom.
I like that it's all chrome.
Which means
Yeah.
it's literally twice as fast as the ship you guys fly around in.
And it makes it
Makes
makes it annoying for anyone to try and pass me because the sunlight hits it
Glares it.
and
Genius.
up there for Gunganing.
There's a good chance that Toretto Dominic is actually from Naboo.
There you go. I guess then when would be I would ask.
You can do a skullduggery check to figure out about the racing scene.
Yeah, I was gonna ask when the next big race is supposed to be and how many days.
As in, are you asking me?
I was like, so Mary would be asking Broom Broom, but I guess it's more a GM question.
Misa can answer that. The Misa say the next race is on what day of the week
Whenever anyone can afford to pay the entry fee.
the race is on Saturday.
Can you just say it was the 5th day of the
Yep.
season?
Which means it'll be tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow! Alright, so we got a big old race tomorrow. I guess I would say, are you confident that you can win?
Misa, calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
Just so, just so you know, Mark, your ship is also speed 6.
So we got 2 people in the race.
So, Brum, what's the rules for the race?
Misa say the rules are 5 laps.
Does it go in a circle?
It's kind of
Do you turn left? Shake and bake, baby!
it's half the turns on the track are left and half are right.
I'm shaking my head, Kesley. Just put it out there. I'm shaking my head right.
I hope you guys know I'm only going to be quoting Talladega Nights now.
It's not like a Karnas track.
It's not a loop.
It's not a
So you go in a circle one way, turn around, then go the other way.
Yeah.
It's
As long as it's not a figure 8, we're fine.
Panorama Mountain is not a circle.
No.
Yeah. Okay, can you do aggressive driving?
Misa say there's no problem with road raging driving.
This is probably where most of your money's gone, because your ship's not cheap to repair.
I guess I would then point out to Ash. How would you like to drive as part of a team? So, yeah, because we could have Ash and Mark.
Oh, okay.
So we could have Crash and Ash.
Crash and Ash, shake and bake. So we could have Ash be your blocker while you take the lead. What do you?
And there is a mandatory pit stop on which has to be done between laps on either lap 2 or 3. Can't be done on 1, 4, or 5.
Are there any hyperspace jumps?
What?
Are there any hyperspace jumps? Is it a race in a single solar system? Is it a race on a planet?
It's a race.
You've got a starship, not a airship.
Yeah.
It is a race
Space race?
The Great Space Race.
Yes, it's the
Bring
the
rum.
1,000 Bathurst.
Ring
where-
around Mercy.
Where there is a each lap is 200
Parsecs!
parsecs.
Yeah.
Parsecs, because we don't have kilometers here.
Yes. You're flying between star systems without a hyperdrive. It's only going to take, a couple of, 200 years to complete, but hey, that's what the bet's for.
But yes, it's a 200 parsec lap. So 5 laps.
And you have to do it 5 times.
Yes. With the,
That's like the that's an endurance race.
Definitely.
well, yeah, that's why they call it the 1,000 Bathurst. It's not to be done in 2 hours. It takes a good 8 hours and usually 6 minutes to complete.
Though with your hyperdrive, not as long.
Yes, well, I mean, those that don't have hyperdrives, it takes them 8 hours and 6 minutes. The fools.
No, with a hyperdrive, it would take you about 8 hours to complete.
Oh,
Without the hyperdrive, it would take you about 1,000 years
Yeah.
yeah, well, exactly.
plus.
Losers. Sybil Buddha is one of them. Because it's about the only.
Because parsec is basically like difference between each planet would be about a parsec, or a system would be a parsec away. So when you're flying between systems, 200 parsecs is the equivalent of going 200 star systems away.
Right. Well, that's a look.
Which, if you look at the map we have, it's the equivalent of saying we're flying the entirety of the Elrood run and back again as our race. That's the sort of race you're talking about.
Yes.
So it's not a small race.
No. It's it's the 1,000 Bathurst.
I think instead of parsec, it would maybe be just a loop around the Mercy system.
Well, if you want to go for an endurance one, an endurance
you
one
want to,
is lots of jumps.
Go for it.
Well, what's a distance of measurement that isn't a parsec? That's what
That would be equivalent of the equivalent of AU is the how the distance of the sun that I think light can travel in a second, or something like that.
How about we
What's
just use
the-
kilometers?
What's the one where it's actually distance between the Earth and the Sun? What's that one?
Well, it wouldn't be the same because the systems are all different.
Yeah.
Because the moment you say difference between the Earth and the Sun, there is an Earth in the setting. It's a holiday resort. Earth
Okay.
actually does exist
That's
in
funny.
the Star Wars
I didn't
galaxy.
know that. That's very-
Yeah. I just have to go on mute for a moment.
No worries.
It actually.
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually don't know how you measure space distance. Other than kilometers would be the only way I can think of.
Yeah, let's just.
Astronomical units is what it is. So it's about
Okay.
so 1 AU is the distance from the Sun to the Earth's orbit, which is 93 million miles, or 150 million kilometers.
It's a lot.
So how about we just use kilometers and say it's a 1,000 kilometer race?
That's fair.
Yep. Okay. All right. So yes, it's the 1,000 Bathurst is 1,000 kilometers.
Now the question becomes, how do you convert a 6 speed into actual speed? How many kilometers per whatever do we go?
Or as in what?
What
how
is
fast?
6?
How fast does that go?
Yeah, what does 6 equal?
So 6 is a relatively term. The idea is in Star Wars, you have it comparative to the other ships. So if he is 6 and the others are 5, he's always that much faster getting further away from them.
It's real fast.
So
Yeah.
mine's a
Fast.
a Holden and this is a Thor.
So if you're not first, you're last.
Correct.
And because of the way they wrote vehicle combat and movements in the Star Wars and Genesys system, you can have the slower ship actually overtake the faster ship.
Because of how the dice rolls go?
No, how they do distance banding.
Ah.
So you could have a ship that moves at speed 1 compared to a ship that moves at speed 7, and the speed 1 overtakes it.
That's weird.
It is. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you'll break down the essence of it, so I changed it slightly for the Shadowrun.
That's good.
So basically he can just keep piling on speed, but he can add 7 to his speed each time.
Alright.
Because he's got something called full throttle, which gives him the ability to overrun his engines.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm back.
Pilot.
Cool.
Yeah,
so I guess I'll ask Boom and Crash. So if we wanted to help make sure that you win this race and we want to put Ash in the race as well, how do we get him signed up so that he can be your blocker?
Well, Broom Crash would need to have a co-pilot.
Does his ship need a co-pilot?
His ship requires a pilot and a co-pilot.
Well, then there we go. Ash, how do you feel about being a co-pilot?
So
I-
the part doesn't enter into
I realise you're saying you want me to be a co-pilot to a Gungan.
Yeah.
I'm not racial profiling the Gungan right now. I just have concerns of history with Gungans. I've not been a safe pilot, that's all. But if you feel this Gungan is
Are you backing away from danger, Death Watch
Also,
Boy?
Mark, remember that Ash
Yeah.
has never met Maverick, so he has no history with
I don't know.
unsafe
No,
Gungan.
I'm doing this purely based on no Maverick interaction at all. So it's just I'm just going to it's not that he's not scared. He's just going
I'm good at
okay. But I'm watching you very carefully. Is probably the word I'm trying to say.
just to catch you
Okay.
up the races.
Which of you two are good at astrogation?
I am.
Because whoever's the best is going to be the navigator.
I have.
Because I reckon that if you could
Astrogation
show off
only
some
comes into
time-
it if they're actually going to jump into hyperspace, which they're not.
Oh, okay. I thought it was doing hyperspace jumps as
No.
well.
So
We decided not.
We decided because we didn't know how far distance was. The race which is on tomorrow.
Okay, so it's not the endurance race. It's the one through the asteroid fields and that.
It's still an endurance race, it's just that it's got no hyper jumps.
Yeah. So it's called the 1000 Bathurst race. It's a 1,000 kilometer race.
I wonder where that came from.
Consisting of 5 laps. Each lap is a 200 kilometer lap. With a mandatory pit stop which must be performed on lap 2 or 3. Cannot be performed. The mandatory stop cannot be performed on 1, 4 or 5.
Does this mean you have to go through the whole landing procedure and everything?
They have built in most of the ships, well, decent ships, decent ships like mine, have built-in jacks, so you just and go into the little pit stop bay, and the jacks come out, and the pit crew do their thing. But yes, I have astrogation, but we don't need it.
Does this mean we get to have pit droids?
Yes. And I also have planetary and space piloting.
Same as me. I just haven't got the Astro thing. That's all. So I have 1 rank in planetary and 2 rank in pilot in space.
So is it started off in space, or is it started from planetary
It's all
in space and then back into planetary again?
it's all planetary.
I was going to say, well...
If it's all planetary, then you wouldn't need to leave the planet. You wouldn't actually take your starship.
Well, fine. It goes
I was gonna
off
say,
planet
wouldn't it
then.
all be space?
It's basically you're saying I'm going to fly a 747 around Melbourne.
Well, you could do that. And they do frequently when there's weather problems.
But as a race with other people.
I I go up to our Gungan friend who and just say, I offer my hand out. Said, "I'm Ash. I'm your co-pilot."
And you see that he's got this really big ass gun with this 6 barrels on it. That's basically about half your height.
Instead of the hand.
Well, if we're playing weapons,
Well, he can't hide that weapon. That's the weapon he's walking around everywhere with.
If you want
It's
to.
usually carried either in a harness or over the shoulder. Then I go back to the harness because I get tired. But it's
So if you put it over your shoulder, you start to stagger because without the harness, you can't carry it properly.
I know I think I'm stronger than I am, and I realise I'm not. So yeah.
I have
So then we're back in the harness. So okay. Okay. Then I look around and go.
With backpack.
I'm going to do a once over of the Gungan's ship. We're going. Is there any room for me to store my gun in the ship at all, or not really?
But basically, it has to sit on your lap while you're piloting.
How about we stack your gun onto our ship for the moment, as we're not foreseeing an immediate need for it, and we have blaster pistols and things like that we can use.
Just so you know, the Gungan ship does have enough capacity to fit your gun in the storage, unlike your ship.
That's okay, but I'm no.
But your ship can be upgraded. His can't.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Can I use a destiny point to have a name on my gun? Like
You're gonna call it baby?
You can spend a
No.
destiny point to put the name on the gun if you really want to.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to spend a destiny point on?
Do I have to use a point? Do I have to use a point for that, or can I just do it as a?
Well, if you say
Storytelling.
you want to spend a destiny point to put a name on the gun, who am I to say no to you doing that?
Okay, cool. Okay, it's called argument over.
You pull out a pen and write argument over on there.
Yeah. Anyway. So I hand over argument over to boss. I'll go. Hey, can you look after this for a little bit? Just, it's a bit heavy, so you might have to look after it.
I can carry the gun.
Okay.
It is 7 encumbrance.
It's pretty heavy.
Can I carry
Yeah.
What, do they normally have 8, do they? Because Superior lowers the encumbrance by 1.
That is with the lowered encumbrance,
I
Ross.
don't take the gun.
Holy shit, that's a big gun.
Yeah, I've got a few things that help me out with the whole
I
thing there
don't
as
take
well,
the
Ross,
got
so.
but
yeah.
I
I've
look
got Burley,
over at
Burley as one of my talents. So.
I look over at Led and I say, can you put the gun on our ship in a secure place?
I'm watching you the whole time that the gun travels away, because that is my. It's very precious to
Which
me.
would make it very hard
So-
to be a co-pilot if you're watching it the whole way.
I know, but I'm just till I see it goes out and I go.
I've got this little camera set up looking at the gun and I'm constantly logging in.
Really good
Yeah,
idea.
maybe you should have called it Precious.
No, because I wanted to
Precious
say
is
argument
possible.
over, because if I have to bring it out, the argument's over. Okay, so that's why you've got to call that.
The next question is, when do you ever put it away?
Oh well, I might sleep with it. Depends where we go.
Because if you put it away, that means you then have to go back to wherever you've hidden it to get it.
I know.
Yeah, does that mean that argument's over?
By the time he gets it, probably.
Yes. If I have to pull it out and use it, the argument's over. That's why I look at it that way.
Just-
okay. So,
Just out of curiosity, it's got a
Yes.
7 encumbrance.
Mhm.
How many people in our group can hold that gun when Ash isn't holding it?
When he isn't holding it, you have to have a strength of at least 3 to lift it without problems.
How do you know what your strength is?
Your brawn.
It's your brawn.
Yeah.
So you have 2.
I can do it.
So yeah, it has to be
I was gonna
lead
yeah.
or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got special talents and things to go with it to help me out.
But I'm not. I haven't been trained to use it because that uses the gunnery skill, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
I was
you
gonna
trained
say-
to use it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on for ranged heavy, right?
It's gunnery.
No, gunnery.
Gunnery
Gunnery.
specifically.
Oh no, I am not trained in gunnery.
I'm trying to gunnery.
I
you
can
lift
lift it. I can lift it, but I'm not trained enough.
Yep.
Just out of curiosity,
I've-
can you lift it?
I've got 2 brawn
Not that he's giving it to you
plus
right now.
athletics.
So you would be
So-
weighed down by it.
I'm trained in gunnery, but I need to get my brawn up by 1 before I can actually lift it.
The only reason it's by 1 is because he's got the harness on it. Without the harness, you got to have a brawn of 5.
Yeah.
Right. So if I were
That's very
to
fine.
eventually be able to hold it, it might be useful. Or we need to get someone with a strength 3 trained in gunnery. For the moment, we're racing though, so I'm going to
Okay.
ask Led to put your gun on our ship in a secure locker. Not one that's hard to get to.
No, that's fair. I'd like the gun to give me the once over of the ship and how all the things work, because it's a little bit different than my ship.
It's a good idea.
And then, okay, once I get the 2-minute kind of instructions of how.
So when you're comparing ships, it's the equivalent of saying you're looking at your beat-up Tirana and comparing it to a state-of-the-art statesman that was almost off the production line a few years ago.
Yeah, but Toronto sounds cooler than a statesman. But anyway, I'm not going there. But anyway,
Yeah, but Terrinoth's
Okay,
also got
so
weapons. So I don't think
let's
this
up it.
one does.
Let's up it a little bit and saying it's a limited edition, one version only with this kit out make of the ship.
I was gonna say essentially what you just like.
okay, Martin, I get your point. Yeah,
That's a
that's
second.
okay.
Okay, so I was right about Imp my starship.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's okay. I will not accept it as better than mine personally, between myself and my brain.
Well, even sitting down in the co-pilot seat, the co-pilot seat just molds you so perfectly. You want to rip this one out and replace yours with it, even though it won't fit into your ship properly.
No, I'm holding back in my mental capacity of willpower of 1 to hold back on this. Okay, I'm just going no.
And the avionic package on this leaves yours for dead.
Shush, I don't care. I've got my ship and I'm happy with my ship. Okay. So, while it does come across me going, ooh, this is a nice ship, it's a nice ship, I was going, nice, but, sometimes ships need a bit of, history and, some passion with it kind of thing,
Well, historically, this is the sort of ship that
The mandatory one.
that you would expect a top-of-the-line racer to be flying.
So if you have to pit, say,
And the hyperdrive on it makes yours look like it's an antiquated toy.
I see it's a racing ship. It's not a general work ship, as I call it. But it's okay. I appreciate it. I still will not go. I still have issues with it. Compare it better than my ship, but that's depends on the situation. But I will live that it's a good ship. Just I won't say it out loud. That's all. So
Martin,
Yeah.
is there a list of the contestants for this race?
You don't know because you haven't checked in and any of that stuff yet. Do you want to go and check in on that?
I think we need to.
So that would be a skullduggery check to find out about this because it's not a legal race.
I will check
Yep.
into
Okay,
it.
so I've got 1 skill out of 2.
I've got 2 in skullduggery, but only 2 in cunning.
I've got 3 in cunning and 1 in skullduggery.
Okay, so
So different people can do stuff here,
Who's got
or
the
you
highest in
can,
cunning?
or you can work together to sort this out.
I'd say work together. Family.
I'm skullduggery, but only 2.
Who has the highest in cunning? I got a 2.
I've got 3.
well, currently Crash is since he's done this a lot more, he's probably fairly good at doing
he's
this.
3, so I
Yeah.
could possibly assist Crash with my 2.
Well, the two of you would work together.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
who's assisting who. You're working together
Yeah.
on this.
Yep.
So 2 plus 3
Yep.
plus.
So that would be 2 yellow dice to 1 green dice to represent the maximum number of dice being 3, and the highest skill being 2.
Okay.
That's basically how that works for comparing stuff. Okay. Having a good dig through the stuff, you managed to find out that Entry fee is 500 credits for the race, and that at the moment no one's been willing to fly against Broom Broom Crash for the last year, considering he trounced people the last time. So whenever he enters a race, everyone else just pulls out and there's no prize money.
Question, theoretical question. How would it be if, I don't know, say you were to intentionally lose this race, or we bet against you? Isn't that the way you earn more money?
You can.
Or, and Ash says, we could put my name down, just not say our co-pilot's Boom Boom.
Is that possible?
That is possible, because at the moment, if Broom Broom's listed, no one else will race against him because he's got the fastest ship on the planet.
I'd say that's a good idea.
Or Crash can enter in his own ship, and somebody else acts as co-pilot, and we'll see who's the better out of the two.
I don't know that that's feasible right now.
Yeah, I'm not entering.
Because Ash
Ash is
doesn't
not
have a
entering.
racing ship
He's
as far as
this
I know.
day. I look at.
Shit.
Is there any other?
Oh.
Any race, other racing ships
So-
around, or just the only racing ship here? At the
There are
moment?
quite a few other racing ships out there. They're all different types of ships that have been stripped down for racing, and you need to have at least 10 ships in the race for them to actually put any prize money up. So if you really want to race against Crash, you're more than happy to, but you're not doing it as part of a betting competition.
No, I would much. I think our better scenario would be Ash's original idea. Registering it under Ash's name, maybe disguising. We have a disguise hit now, guys. Crash, so that it's not obvious that Crash is running. People won't see Crash on the race list. More people will enter. Hopefully, with Crash helping out with the piloting, we win the race. We earn more money.
Yes,
that.
that.
Crash, how often have you used your ship to race?
Probably about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, so that ship's known. So the only ship that we could actually use is the Mandalorian fighter.
Is Ash's ship.
Does it
And
matter?
anyone seeing Crash's ship there will eventually pull out, correct?
I'm starting to rethink that idea of spending a destiny point to tint Ash's clear cover, because if it's tinted, people won't be able to see that it's Crash driving Ash's ship.
I don't think Ash would let that.
Or hang on, the other option is, if they see a Mandalorian sign up for the thing with Crash's plane, they think that the Mandalorian sorted him out of it.
Yeah.
And I could use, that could come as a trend out saying,
I think it would be easier.
looks like Broom Broom's got his martial orders.
That,
Mandalorian's
or
taking
we
his ship.
still we still use Ash's ship, and we just put Broom Broom in the Mandalorian helmet.
Yeah.
Gungan's having his face smashed in with a Mandalorian helmet.
I do have a smuggler's trench coat.
We do have a disguise kit too.
I do have
I'm just thinking of
a breathing mask and respirator.
I just really want to see a Gungan with a big mustache and goggle glasses.
And I also have
that's in the prequel.
I also have my false voice transmitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that maybe the suggestion of one, making people think the Mandalorian has possession of Crash's ship now, but they're not winning every single race outright. You play it back easy. You come second and third. You win prizes and you gather up your money, because if you win first place every time, nobody wants to race against you. So if we're going to go down that path, it would be more along the lines of Crash has lost his ship maybe in a race against this Mandalorian, and now the Mandalorian flies the ship. Or, as Clowner suggested, we could put Crash into Ash's ship, just in a disguise. Did we want to have a vote as to who liked which idea better, particularly from Ash and Crash, since they're the people whose ships we're talking about?
Well, I think as long as you've got a spare helmet kit, I'm going to call it.
We've got a disguise kit.
For Crash, then yeah. But I think both ideas have their merits. I think both of I have merits. I think it's more that my ship only requires one pilot, so it's definitely only going to be Crash, if it has to be that way. While the other ship requires 2 people, I believe.
Wow.
So I think, look, the only problem is that because mine's a open kind of cockpit, that they'll be able to see in who it is.
I still think whichever way we take it, we shouldn't go for winning first place.
Yeah, and my ship is not built for racing either, so just heads up. So.
Yeah.
And your ship may be disqualified because it's got guns on it.
I think putting
that's another thing we can
Ash
think
up
about.
front as being the current pilot of Crash's ship, and then disguising Crash and them using Crash's ship is probably going to be the most effective way to actually win.
I think so. And
but to not get first place.
Why would if we don't win first place, but come in third or something like that.
The other thing is you also probably have to put a new name on it too.
Every single time, the same problem.
So you want to play long-term game?
Yeah.
I can put a fake sign in saying the dead Gungan. Maybe would that work?
AKA Gungan Killer.
Gungan Killer. That sounds good.
Gungan Slayer.
Slayer. That's even better.
I don't know how Crash will feel about that, but it's
that
all about
very
getting the money to
kind
find your ship. So it's
that's definitely very Death Watch kind of thing. So
it is very
definitely
Death Watch.
I like the idea so much. As long as everyone, I think go that way, and then.
So is the Gungan willing to sign over ownership to someone else to his ship?
Not ownership.
For them to fly in it, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'll check that.
Just nominate
if they say he's won it in something, and it's still owned by the Gungan, that won't actually
with a contract that allows temporary ownership, like
rental.
Yeah.
Is renting?
Yeah.
Get signs over, then we space the Gungan.
So it has to be ownership. It can't be like I've taken it as part of a payment.
If you've taken it as part of a payment, you're technically the owner.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'm trying to think of a way around it, that's all.
The way you're describing things, it can't be owned by the Gungan if you're saying it's yours.
Well,
it depends on if the Gungan believes in the Mandalorian word of honor.
That's true. So
Lisa has not encountered any
Mandalorians before.
As he's just met the people today, that's a big ask.
But can we come up with a separate contract that says that while the Gungan is signing ownership of his ship over to us, it is only as a part of a larger agreement that we have in finding his ship or something?
I've got a better idea. If you're going to do that, we sign over our ship to the Gungan. The Gungan signs either that or Ash signs his ship over to Crash, and Crash signs his ship over to Ash.
The question is how much is the Gungan ship value in comparison to the value of our ships?
Well, your ships combined is pretty much the value of the Gungan ship.
So yeah, we'd have to do that. And are we willing to sign our ships over to the Gungan? Do we trust the Gungan?
Well, yes, because there's a Death Watch guy right next to him. So if the Gungan tries to do something, the Death Watch guy would do what Death Watch is good at.
Watching someone die?
Oh, hey,
Technically,
that's
we
good.
claim our ship.
I take offence to those Death Watch comments, Martin. But yes,
well, that's what you did.
Have to say?
well, that's true. But yeah.
Master Crash.
It seems like that either way we do it, we're going to have issues with that. If either way we do it, we're going to have issues. I think either way. So that's why it's I don't know. Do we really want to go down there? And I'm just going to put it out there. Do we really need to go betting to earn money on this one? It seems like a lot of effort just to win some coin. I think we're spending more time and effort on wasting all
The other thing is, what's the prize money worth?
It's basically dependent on how many people are in the race, and the first place would get half the pot.
But what we're talking about is not about wasting time and money. We talked about 3 sessions ago about a new sort of lifestyle and way of earning money now that we're not sector rangers. And a number of us talked about using our knowledge of underworld and organised crime as a means to gain money, and being a more accessible means of gaining money without having to deal with the Empire. And so this would be about learning how the races are run, figuring out how to maybe run illegal races on our own and things like that. Do you know what I mean? This is the small stuff, but we're working our way into a bigger enterprise.
Okay, I can see where we come from now. Okay.
We don't have to
So the
go down this
minimum,
road.
if you come first, to be 2,500.
Yeah,
Okay.
but each time we win, and winning a race is technically, like, even if you get second place, if you can enter in to 5 or 6 races a day, you can earn quite a bit of money pretty quickly.
Okay. So is the pit droid supplied, or you have to supply your own pit crew?
You would most likely have to supply your own pit
So
crew.
he's looking at those costs as well. Look, if you guys have got a better idea, I'm happy for you to come up with that.
No, that's fair. I'm just trying to. I can't think of any other ideas at the moment that we've got. It's just assigning ships over to each other people kind of thing seems a lot of effort for just to race a ship.
Misa already has a pit crew because Misa's been already
in the racing
3
game.
races.
The other thing is that once we get an idea of how the racing and illegal gambling works here, we can start betting against ourselves. So we'll get a few races up where Ash wins, and then we might put Crash back into the pilot seat, but then have him lose on purpose. And we could put a rumour out there that the Mandalorian who had his jet for a while messed him up. He doesn't race so good. And we could actually build it up to actually get ourselves a really big win by betting against him at some point. That's just a really loose idea.
Yeah, no, I know what you're getting at. Look, I'm happy for it. I'm just going to try and be the racer or co-pilot, so I'm going to keep out of the technical stuff, I'm going to call it. So, because I feel that, I think, between the rest of the crew kind of thing, that we can work out a way around it. I'm just going to, whatever we need to get it done, I'm happy to work
So
with
you
it.
want to spend a couple of months setting up that sort of scam?
Yeah, I think we would have to.
Well,
I think.
we were talking about whether or not we did that versus whether or not we did bigger heists. What does our organised crime person?
And I did have one question for you, Man, and it's just for my character. Would I have a bounty hunter's license, or no? I wouldn't have. No. Okay, cool. That's all right.
Just because you're Death Watch doesn't necessarily mean you have a bounty hunter's license.
No, I just thought I'd ask just in case. That's
And
all.
plus, your character's career is hired gun, which doesn't start with a bounty hunter's license.
That's a fair call. I just thought I'll just to cross it off my list of things I was thinking in my head. So yeah.
We could
I'm
also
thinking
go to
this is-
Kaggle and ask him for more jobs.
I was gonna say, I think it's more efficient. Like, though I love this idea of setting up something, we are stepping on different crime bosses' territory, and I think we do need to help the Gungan, but we need to do so with the crime boss that we already have respect with to probably follow under what would be acceptable for him. Just to, I guess, build more of a name for ourselves through him, because elsewise we are here on the planet for months on end trying to establish something. Go ahead.
Misa says just quietly, maybe you could get your crime boss in on the betting
Yeah, so that would be...
and go kind of like how horse racing is not rigged.
Yeah.
And say, look, we've got a hot tip of silver.
Well, we could go to Kaggle with the idea that
and
we're going to put up Crash's ship, but with Ash as the pilot, and then Kaggle could bet on that ship knowing it's going to win.
And I was going to say that you could always talk to Kaggle about getting Crash back into the racing circuit, just getting him back in with his own ship. Because Boss Kaggle would have influence over that sort of thing. So you don't have to go through a complex sort of
Yep, that's... Look, I'm
thing to
fine
do so.
with all of those options.
So I think
I was just
we,
kind of going
it's definitely it's a long-term scam. I'm going to call this one. But do we want to do any short-term things for the time being while we do this
Well,
long-term
I think
scam?
running it through Kaggle is probably the quickest way to get it going. And that seems to be the consensus of the group.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Is we should probably go through Kaggle.
Oh, you get a thumbs up from Ash.
Yeah, just going to
So-
grab some books off the shelf.
Yep. I take it that means I need to organise a meeting with Kaggle. Oh, you've got to get past me to get to the shelf. It's heavy. I can get you some food if you like, while you look stuff up.
Have books. Sorry, didn't mean to take you with grabbing.
Oh, that's fine. Trust me, it'll be the first time it's all over.
Okay. So, what is it you want to do?
I'm guessing I have to contact Kaggle now?
You have no problems in contacting him as he is still on planet.
Yep. And I guess put forward the idea that we're interested in helping Crash get back into racing. I won't mention why. I don't think that's really any of his interest, especially if he decides he wants to pursue the lost robotic unicorn on his own. So I'll just kind of approach it as we know this racer and we think that this could be a great opportunity to put our Mandalorian up front in Crash's racer and seeing how everyone can benefit from that.
Kaggle knows about Crash.
Master Crash?
Crash wouldn't accept bribes to lose.
I don't know. Has Crash got a history of being honorific or not honorific?
Honourable.
Honourable, that's the word.
My goal is to be a champion racer, so why would I lose?
Because one of the ways to get back to achieve your goal is by having the money to pursue that. We can help you pursue that. We have the connections to do that.
Lisa forgot to say Lisa.
But I'm not talking necessarily about Crash taking a bribe to lose the race, but by putting our Mandalorian up front, people don't have to necessarily realise that Crash is behind our pilot in the second seat, co-piloting.
So I reckon we should get a white armour with a black visor for Crash, and we just call him the Stig.
There you go.
Sure.
So the ship is faster with Crash in the pilot seat.
Well,
Yep.
we can put a Mandalorian helmet on put what looks like two Mandalorians in the ship instead of what looks like a Gungan and a Mandalorian in the ship.
A very tall
Mandalorians by creed aren't a race. So it doesn't matter how tall you are.
No, it's
Did you just say that we're the master race?
Close enough.
I said by creed they aren't a race.
Oh no, it just sounded like by creed we're the master race.
No. Just to enunciate that I am not of that origin. Indeed, my grandmother would pull herself out of her grave and eat my zombie brain.
Don't worry, I'm sure the Empire would think that. Considering that's who they are modelled upon.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, my grandma spent enough time in German camps.
Okay, so he says that there's a slight problem with that.
And what's the problem?
Lud Chud is in the middle of trying to steal ship from Gungan.
Right now?
Well, he sent some people. He paid me to look the other way. Okay, I look the other way, I got paid.
Do you mind if we go beat the shit out of those people?
That's completely between you and those pirates.
Can I get back to you in a second?
If you've got the ship. Otherwise, I'm going to go for a holiday.
Okay. Is it just me and Kaggle, and can I comms my team?
You can comms your team.
And tell them that there's going to be an attempt on the ship we're attempting to get into the race.
Mm-hmm.
I'll comms Kayana.
Yep.
And give her a heads up that pirates are incoming to try and take over or take possession of Crash's ship.
Is one gun still in the security locker?
Yep. And you're at the Gungan ship as far as I know.
How far is our ship from the Gungan ship?
Would probably be parked a fair distance away.
Really?
You don't normally get.
I reckon he had this plan back when he's trying to talk about how unwieldy your gun is.
Well, I did hand it to somebody and you put it in the security locker. So
I didn't know at that time.
I'm not put out the comms. Hey, where's the security locker? And how far away is it?
I'm guessing possibly too far away.
You can take a taxi.
Martin.
Okay.
In my defense, at the start of this, Martin just stuck us at a starport next to a Gungan, and I thought, well, I guess I'm going to try and roleplay this and see how it turns out.
And that's okay. So I would usually just stand right in front of the ship with the big gun and just stand there. That'll be enough deterrent for most people, but I don't know what I can do to deter these people at the moment, but I'll work it out.
I think I've got a number of guns on me, so Martin might let me give you one of those.
We can spend a force point to give him one. To have given him one.
Oh look!
I'll give you
Look, the Empire left this weapons cache here.
Sorry, I'm just doing
Good, that's better
It's
than
a
mine.
heavy weapons cache.
Nicely done, Ross. Well,
I thought
I appreciate the effort there.
What I've got in my list, so
It looks really bad. It could only probably handle just a single gunfight.
well, according to my book list, I've got 3 or 4 guns, and according to this list, I've only got 2. So
got multiple guns.
So maybe, someone else who's got more guns than what's in my list until I put Martin through.
Have my SW.
I'm just going to look intimidating without any guns till somebody hands me one. So, that's
Well, someone was saying they were happy to spend a destiny point to give you a gun. I was just trying to find out what gun was being handed over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because when I start describing the scene, it's too late to hand you a gun.
Well,
Yeah, I
you're
was
just
just
standing there
wondering
looking
if we could
intimidating.
go to the heavy weapons cache.
So you want to spend a force point to have a heavy weapons cache next to a starship that
No,
could
what I-
potentially blow up and destroy the
what I
starship?
think I want is to spend a force point to make it so that we didn't go through all of the talk of possibly setting up the long game scan, and we left Mark with his gun where he is right now. Because then he's at least got his own big gun and no one has to give up a gun. If that's not possible, then perhaps one of Crash's guns then.
Technically, you can say he's still got it, but Ross is wanting to put a weapons cache there as well. So, what is it your group wants to actually do with your force point you're spending before I finish describing the scene? Because when you declare a force point, we stop.
Mark, do you want your gun or someone else's gun?
I have my gun. I'm going to go with that one. Yep.
Because technically, that's player's option. As soon as you say spend a force point, the game stops until it's resolved.
Yep.
That's how it's supposed to work. I'm
Yep.
pointing it out to people.
No, that's fair
Because when
enough.
people keep throwing in different suggestions, there's no resolution. There's just like we had
Sometimes
three
we're
different
just
things.
figuring it out.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yep, all good. I was just pointing it out. Okay, so you're there with your big gun in the hangar for
I'm not even there.
in the hangar, standing there with the gun.
Yep.
I have my 8-gauge scatter gun.
Sounds like a good gun. Is that equivalent to a shotgun?
Something like that.
As you see 12 people breaking in through the hangar door with weapons out. So I am going to ask people to give me their vigilance check. What is your character's vigilance? For each of you.
Vigilance is willpower plus your rank, if any.
Alright, I'm a willpower 2, but 2 ranks in it.
So that would be 2 yellow for
Yep.
your character, which would end up being 2 successes and 2 advantages.
Don't you also have that
Yep, I got something else, so give me another.
mod that gives you an advantage on your initiative
I
checks?
have an extra advantage as well.
Or you didn't get that mod for your armor?
Was that the repulsor assisted lifting one?
No, that doesn't give you.
No, that's the other one,
advantages.
isn't it?
You had a number of them. So
Threat monitor.
That's
Threat
it,
monitor?
Threat monitor.
That's it.
Okay.
So yeah, so that just makes it 3.
So
I have 2 willpower. I have gunnery.
it doesn't help
Doesn't
for
help.
its vigilance.
Vigilance.
Vigilance, nothing. Willpower 2.
So 2 green dice. That means so you got 3 advantages.
1 willpower for Ash. That's it.
1 dice for Ash. So that is 1 advantage. What about other people?
I've got will of 2, skill of 1.
That's a green and a yellow. Ends up being 1 success, 1 advantage for Khaled.
BCQ.
What is...
I'm meeting Kaggle.
Yes, but you still get to add into the pile of stuff.
It's 4 and 2.
4 and 2. So that's... that is 2 successes and 5 advantages. Okay.
What's the difference between a success and an advantage?
Success always trumps an advantage, and the number of successes and number of advantages determines the order of that they appear in the initiative track.
Okay. There's such a wide variety of them. And like, Mark only has 1 dice, and then I have like 4.
By you being part of the initiative track gives someone a huge boost to go first, whereas Mark brings someone all the way to the back.
Okay.
So each of you does get to play a part, even if you're not actually fighting at that point. You can still be travelling there.
Helps to understand.
Now I'm trying to figure out what theirs
Gotta
are.
remember it.
You don't have to remember it. I have it written down.
No, it would be nice to be able to remember what you're doing so that I just know how to read the dice.
So that is 1 success, 3 advantages.
Which one's a
The
success?
star.
Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I use Eugenie? Or is it too late?
Which does?
Remove setback.
So this is setback.
Oh, okay. No, all good. Never mind.
Keep that in mind, because it might come in handy.
Yep.
I feel like there should be a chibi Gungan thing.
So cool is which stat is cool? Cool is prez. Yeah, well, they rolled well. And the last one will be... Okay. So what that does is give me the order based on characters where they will appear. If a party member shares it with a NPC, the party member generally trumps the NPC. Simply because it's a lot easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
So what that means is they've broken in, they've managed to surprise everyone, and the guy pulls out a vibro axe, waves it in the air, and tells everyone to take out the heavy weapons guy.
Oh, jeez. Okay. No, that's very cool. I'll do the same thing if I was here.
Which gives them all a bonus to shoot you.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so...
Yeah, the question I was going to ask you, Martin.
Yeah.
I've got a defense of range 2. Would that come into any effect with this kind of shooting? Or?
Yes, it does. It adds 2 black dice.
Okay, cool.
Unless they've got things that remove black dice. Which is always useful.
That'd be really awesome. Coming about making weapons. Not easy to read like that.
Okay. So yes, they start opening up on Ash with a blast carbine. Those out. That means that Mark gets hit, character gets hit for 10 damage, and they give their next person to act a boost as well.
Okay. I've got a soak of 5.
So that means you take 5 damage.
Yep, 5 for some down from 15 to 10 wins. Yep.
Okay. Then it is a party member's go. Who would like to go next? You hear over your comms that combat has started.
Okay, so it would be me, Kai, and Led outside while Crash and Ash are being attacked. I'll go ahead and move first.
You can.
Okay, so in terms of where we are, type of thing.
Well, you've heard over the comms that there's combat happening. You're nearby. You'll probably be about, I'd probably say about 2 turns from them.
Would I be able to enter from the rear, or are we in the wrong position for that?
You don't know which way they came in, so
True. Okay.
you could be coming in where they are, or
I will
another
run
direction.
forward with the hope that I can get behind.
Why are they outside as well? I thought I was
Wait.
hunting it with
Because they
We
didn't
don't-
say they
did they?
didn't say that they were specifically staying behind of the ship. Whereas Mark said mentioned he was looking over the ship with the Gungan.
Oh, okay.
And
'cause
no
I
one
thought
else-
I said I'll go on my own.
No one else had actually gone over to look over the ship with the Gungan.
Well, that's okay. No, it's fine. I may have just thought it. I've got a lot of pain going through me right now.
Okay.
So I think maybe Ash should go, so he can actually cut them down before they act again.
Yeah, probably would be good.
Because how many groups is there?
There are
12.
4 groups. There are 12 people. 4 groups.
So he's going to get shot
Yeah, so probably.
by at least 8 to 12 times.
Yeah, so have. I think. Yeah, I agree with you. Have Ash go first.
Yep. Okay. Well, I was gonna. Yep. If I can go first. I aim at the closest combative person. Somebody that might have shot me.
Okay, so you aim at the guys with the blaster carbines.
Yep. Then I use my gunnery rank 1 agility, 4 agility, and I wind the gun up. So
Luckily for you, it doesn't have a prepare.
no, I read through that. Auto fire, cumbersome, pierce 1, and vicious 1. So
Are you turning on auto fire?
So that's the question I was going to ask you. What is auto fire?
Auto fire means that if you get 2 successes, you can have another hit on the target. But you've basically got to target the hardest person you're going to be targeting in that round with the highest defense. But every 2 successes is another hit.
So it's like a cleave kind of thing, is that right? You're getting from it?
Cleave hits different targets. You can keep hitting the same target with the auto fire, but it makes it harder to hit. So it adds to the difficulty.
Okay, but it gives you more opportunity to hit. That's the thing you got to take. I won't go with it at the start. I might use it maybe next turn or something like that.
Which
If
means
it's okay.
that if you get 2 successes, it won't actually trigger 2 advantages. It won't trigger anything for you at this stage. Just so you realise that at that point.
Look, I think we'll give it a go then. We'll give it a risk, and just no harm in trying something new. So this is the first time we've used this gun as a person, not the character, but yeah.
Okay, so the people you're shooting at, you're shooting at the minion group, so they don't actually have ranged defense, which is good for you. So they did take away your ability to auto fire.
Oh well.
You wouldn't have gotten that otherwise.
Yep.
And you managed to hit them for 14 damage.
Nice.
Which means you take out 2 of their number straight away with your firing into the crowd.
I'm standing right now. I assume it's a little bit in the open. Is that correct?
Yes, you said you're standing in front of the ship. Is your
Okay.
wording?
Is there any sort of cover, like any boxes?
Yes, the
or
ship's
anything?
cover.
No cover. Okay.
You can stand behind the ship if you wish to.
I don't want to destroy somebody's ship already in the first session that he's played, so I feel guilty of doing that. So I will not.
Okay. You can give the next person to act a blue dice to hit to use on their attack if you wish to.
If that's the case, I'd like to give my dear Gungan friend that blue dice.
You can't pick the person. You can give the next person to act a blue dice. You need 2 advantages to give a specific person.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll give the
Um,
next person a blue
yes.
dice. Martin. Sorry. Yep, makes sense.
just trying to use the words correctly.
That's okay.
Mike, you said you wanted to go next.
Sure.
might have just pointed at him.
No,
Well,
He did put it.
because I'm in the.
He didn't want to wait until everyone else had shot.
The good news is I will get a zero gravity chair. Until then, right now, my ankle, knee, hip, and all the rest of my back is burning like anything else. So I'm somewhat distracted.
I was trying to look at the. I'm just trying to find the scattergun. See what it does. Please hold.
In the meantime, keep me this entertainment. Come on, Cleanna. Into those sound effects that you.
Scattergun. Right.
Just so you can actually.
Yes, we have these guys. There we go. Just to give you an idea of what's going on.
What's going on right now?
Okay, so I have. This is where I don't know what I'm doing. So is this where I use my gunnery skill?
What weapon are you using?
The AA8.
And what
gauge.
what does it say under skill? On the weapon description. Has a box for skill.
Oh, ranged heavy.
Then you use ranged heavy.
You don't have
Which
it.
I don't have.
You don't have anything.
He's a pilot, not a shooter.
Yeah. So, guess what? You don't even have to worry about that. You got nothing.
Alright, well.
You're a pilot. You've got a big ass gun.
In that
You can't
case,
shoot.
I will use my
It's still 3 dice.
plasma grenades.
So you're gonna throw a grenade near your ship?
Because you're fine shooting. It just.
Oh, he is crazy.
This is the type of dice for it.
Alright, I'll use the 8 gauge scattergun because that's originally what I was going to use. The other thing. I can use toughened, which adds +2 to wound threshold.
Oh, you've already got that added to your character sheet.
Oh, okay.
So if you look on the front page of it, you've got a wound threshold, and it should be about 14, I think it's got there. That's with it added to it.
Oh, okay, right.
So all those things have been applied to most of the stuff.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Do I use Utini now, or is that...
So what Utini gives you bonuses for is
Everything.
scavenging. So after the battle's completed, you can use it to potentially gather stuff back from them.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so I will use my...
What was that?
My
Yoko.
my scattergun, which can do 7 damage, 6 critical.
Okay, does that have any other qualities at the end?
Last 3 knockdown.
Okay, so with blast 3 means it will hit everything and engage with that group. Okay, so with that it means you successfully hit them with the gun. How much damage does it do?
7 damage.
7 damage?
6
Okay.
critical. I don't... Is that separate?
The 2 critical requires the 2 advantages, you got 1.
Oh, okay. No.
So it didn't trigger. And a critical will insta-kill a minion or a rival, but not a nemesis.
Okay.
But you can harm a nemesis quite messily with it.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so you take one of the pirates down that are coming towards you. But unfortunately, they have enough soak not to take any of the blast.
Well, I'm trying to look up what each thing does and then take a photo of it so I know.
That's why I tried to add it to everyone's sheet between stuff.
Oh, yeah, but it's just that I
Hadn't picked all your stuff yet.
Um,
Okay, so now it goes to one of their goes again. So the other pirate group tries to shoot up the big heavy weapons guy. So the ones who haven't acted yet. So they get a 2 blue, 1 from their leader, 1 from the previous people who attempted to shoot at Mark, against the 2 black of Mark. Okay, so cancels on one of those. They did nothing. So that means that is a critical hit on Mark's character.
Oh no.
With that would be 11 damage.
You're not going to kill another character in one session, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, don't know.
What you looking for?
The top GM screen on the underneath Gloomhaven.
So this pile with 4
It should be
That should be the
Yep.
DM screen.
Yep. Because that has the table in there that I'll look up when I do the hit someone for critical hit.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, that's so loud.
Because it is a percentile dice being rolled.
All shots miss Ash and hit. Hit the other the shooter in the foot.
Hey Mark,
That sounds good,
you are
yeah.
carrying a big gun, so a lot of people go out of the way to target someone like you.
Yeah, I know. I'm fully aware of that one.
So that was 11 damage. You have a soak of
5?
5, so that means 6 get through. I add 6 to the damage they deal, so that makes it a 61. No, it's a for him to die outright. I'd have to get a percentage of 140 plus. So as it was a 61, that means that he got an average critical hit. Which is slightly dazed. You're disoriented until the end of the encounter, meaning you're going to have a black dice until the end of the encounter.
So is that where other people can use their remove black dice thingies to help remove black dice? No.
Not for him,
No.
but if he had something that helped remove penalties, he could
He
use it.
could use it.
Yeah, I've got something, but I'll check with you one more turn, man. It's
Okay. So that was one of the pirate crew.
I've got four wounds left there, Mark. So.
You got 4 wounds left. Okay, and then someone shoots a heavy blaster at the Mandalorian because so far they haven't targeted the Gungan because they haven't seen him as a threat, much to their
Maybe
misinformation. Oh yeah, they'll most likely get themselves in trouble for doing so. So this guy's not skilled with the blaster, but he's shooting anyway. Okay, so that would be 1 success and 1 advantage. So he does 7 damage, which your soak deals with a bunch of that. So how much does your soak do, Mark?
Oh, my soak is 5, sorry, I thought that was...
So you take 2 damage from that one.
Okay.
So you're down.
No, I thought you were going at the Gungan, that's all, man. So, sorry about that.
No. But hey, now it is who wants to go next? Who's outside the?
Apparently it's going to take us 2 rounds to get in, so
It's 2 actions to get in.
you said 2 rounds.
2 rounds. Okay, yeah, never mind. I missed that then. Okay.
That's why I'm
I was gonna say because they've both gone. So
I was
guess the
absolutely
best.
convinced I wouldn't have comms you if you were right next to me, so I was convinced I was at
I'm happy to
Kaggle's.
even say that Kayana was outside of Kaggle's building while you went in by yourself.
Yeah, like I could be half and half.
Yeah. It's easy for me to get confused at the moment, unfortunately.
I think
I'm
it's
sorry
mainly
about
because me and Ross didn't actually specify where we were, and so it's us just kind of guessing at this point. So it's not anything that you said; it's everything. It's that me and Ross didn't say anything. So.
Well, I also was out because it doesn't matter how often I put Voltaren on before game; it always seems mid-day I need to put more on. And I think it's because I'm sitting and that aggravates all my joints more.
Okay.
And so I missed out on a lot of
That's okay.
what was happening as well.
So, with that, if we're happy with me being half and half, I guess, I'll just move. I guess because I had
you are also the natural athlete, so
yeah,
you can move a lot faster than most.
I'm gonna
Is
move.
that the same for Ross as well then, half and half? Or is Ross...
I'm happy to say half and half for Ross as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and so I will move as close as I possibly can, if possible, trying to get behind a group of pirates. But if that's not possible, just in whatever best flanking position I can get.
Okay, I'll give your character a perception roll to see if you can figure out which way it is. That's a free roll.
I have 2 in cunning, but 2 rank in perception, so 2 yellow.
Okay. Versus the pirate captain to see if he can figure out a way, if he basically positioned himself better.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 versus 3 red. This is what he does for a living.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay, so that and that cancel themselves out,
Just
and so it turns out to be you end up with a strain.
not good.
You're not exactly sure which side they went in.
He's like, how did they get here?
They basically they did you a number. They're probably on the other side of the field from you, so you can't box them in.
Yeah, so I have to dead on.
And when you get in there, you think you're going to be on the other side of the ship from them, so they're going to have cover.
Yeah.
So unless you shoot past the ship and your teammates.
Calculating the risk now.
It's okay, they can only die once.
Yeah, exactly.
They're Mandalorian. Well,
They'll
Aside
be
from the
Mandalorians.
the Mandalorians that do die fighting. Hopefully none of us have.
You know what? I'm gonna try to risk it. I'm gonna move as close as I can while still being able. And then moving as close as I can. Does that put me within the short range?
I would say put you in medium range. Because the other side of the compound.
I did buy a new fancy gun. Are we saying that I have my new fancy gun?
Yes.
Then I will use my new fancy gun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to look up the doodads on that. My S5 heavy blaster.
Are you happy to take 2 strain for running? That's basically saying I move.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say you probably
Yeah.
got
I have enough I can do it.
teens.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
Yep.
You come running in, guns blasting.
Well, you can run faster than everyone else. So, who are you going to shoot at?
I would like to shoot at. If I'm running.
The guy with the big axe?
Yeah. We'll shoot the guy with the big axe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your weapon skill you're using?
I have to look up the book. May I use the book with me?
You may.
Thank you. So I have to double check which one you need for this one.
So it'll either be light or heavy, most
That's
likely.
one. Check. Ranged light. Do I have that? Yes, I do. So I have 3 agility, 1 rank in ranged light.
Yep. Okay. So you managed to hit,
Wow.
but you take another strain from it.
Okay.
So how much damage does it do?
It does.
It's gonna be a lot of book balancing now that we've got all this equipment.
7 damage.
Okay.
And then the 3 critical is if I get 3 successes, that's when the
That's a critical,
counts?
yes.
Okay, so 7 damage.
Okay, yes, you hit him. And he looks directly at you.
Good.
Okay. Then it is either Khalid or Kai.
You're closer, so you.
Okay. I'll try to get there as quickly as possible.
Okay, so you'll if you take 2 moves, you'll make it to the entryway because you're not as fast.
I was also wanting to make an athletics, see if I can actually sprint.
So you want to use your action for an athletics on top of that?
Yeah.
So what is your athletics?
Is 3 green.
Easy. Easy because it's a decent road. Okay, so apparently you succeed with an advantage.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a nice colour.
Does it actually give you extra? Sorry, just trying to find the actual book with the stuff in it.
300 every 7 weeks plus going into toner every 2 weeks.
Athletics.
Brunette's unnatural. I was blonde up until the age of 4.
Okay, so you ended up with no net successes on it, but I'm happy to say you can move a 3rd time and stand be next to the heavy gunner,
Yep.
having you used your athletics to run.
Yep.
You just didn't increase the speed you could move, the distance you can move very well.
Yep.
So that's your action done. That brings us to Ariadne.
What sort of environment I am? I presume I'm in a building, but if I were to get out of the building, am I
It
in
would
an
be a
environment where I
concrete-
could use my rocket boots to speed up?
You could.
I
that
completely forgot I
is
have a jetpack.
I know.
that is what I plan to do.
Okay. So you do a maneuver to get out there.
Yep.
You take 2 strain to do another maneuver to fly.
Yep.
And you're now above the others because you can fly pretty damn fast with those things.
Yes, you're Peter Pan.
Do I end the turn near the entrance?
You're above the combat.
Oh, so I can see the combat.
You can
right?
see the combat because it's an open sky
Can
for landing
I
pads.
fire down?
Yes, you can rain death from above.
Do it.
Because you remembered you have flying stuff.
I do have flying stuff. The question is what I can use. And
So, best thing for you to use from...
I put down a light repeating blaster on here, but it's not on this list. So I'm wondering if did it not carry over because you rearranged things?
It ended up not carrying over because I didn't see it on the
Because
list.
you forgot it.
Yes.
And all I've got is light repeating blaster and how much it cost. So would I take?
could take off the Van Blades and put the light repeating blaster in.
Well, no. I think we'll leave that for next game. Is there a gun there?
There is a blaster pistol, the light pistol,
Okay. Yeah.
which you've got at least 1 skill in.
If
Or you could just decide you're going to drop amongst them and punch them with your blades.
or my vibro sword. Which is more effective, the Van Blades or the
So
vibro sword?
you have 2 ranks in using the Van Blades,
Okay.
no ranks in using the vibro sword.
In that case, I will
So
use the Van Blades.
That's the main
then.
reason I added the Van Blades to your thing.
Yeah.
So
Although firing from above has got its advantages, right? Am I harder to hit?
yeah, sort of, but they'd have to basically, if they were to aim for you, they can still do so.
Okay.
It's just distance and there's no cover.
Okay.
Whereas amongst them, they can't
Alright.
shoot at markers easily because you're engaging them,
Yeah.
and
I
that
will
makes it a lot harder for them to do stuff. So
do
who
that
do you
then.
want to beat up? The person with the vibro axe, the person with the heavy blaster, or one of the 2 groups of people attacking?
Everybody. I'm going to go Was it the person with the heavy blaster that's done the most damage to Ash?
No, it was actually the two groups of minions that have done the most damage to
okay.
Mark. So
Alright.
he's been minion minced.
Yeah, I feel very sad, Ash.
And the guy with the really big heavy blaster and the guy with the Vibro X, they will do the most damage one-on-one?
Well, the Vibro X person will probably do the most damage one-on-one.
Okay, well,
Because he's got
I'll
a big axe.
I'll go for him.
Okay. So, going for him. So that would be the dice pool if I didn't drop the dice.
Right.
And do I need to... I don't think any of these... Is there any setback to coordination or anything like that for that?
You can take you can take strain to do more damage
Okay.
if you hit.
Yeah. Okay.
You don't have to choose it. You shouldn't choose to spend that before you decide if you
Okay.
find out if you hit or
Yeah.
not.
Alright.
Considering he is quite a devastating person to go against. So that is an amazing roll.
Ooh.
Hey, look at that!
So
Ooh,
there's a
looks very
triumph
good.
and there's a despair at the same
So it was
time.
great and
Yeah.
the worst at the same time.
So technically,
There
it-
is at my leg.
So-
So I'm concentrating damn hard. Sorry.
that's okay. It's technically a failed roll
Oh,
with
okay.
a triumph, a despair, and a threat.
How the hell do you reconciliate a failure with a triumph? Is this another case of I feel good about what I've done? but I
So
don't do anything?
a triumph also has a success, a despair also has a failure. And because they can cancel out the success and failure, they can't cancel out the triumph and the despair. So you have something exceedingly awesome happen, something horrible happen, and you take some strain at the same time.
Okay.
Do we get to choose
who-
the despair? Because I have an
determines-
idea.
So the main things that happen with the despair,
Right.
one of the things that normally happens is your weapon runs out of ammo. That's the easiest thing to call for a despair, but
Sure.
your blades don't have ammo, so if they did have
Damn.
ammo, then you wouldn't be able to use them until you reloaded them, which would be quite interesting.
Yeah.
The other thing you can use it for is the opponent may immediately perform a free
Could
maneuver.
I just do a standard Mandalorian move, drop my band braids as my despair, but then just pull out another weapon next round?
Well, your van blades are attached to your wrist.
Oh,
They
okay,
pop
so
in
I
and out.
can't be
So
dropped.
remember the one who just stabs the stormtrooper with a
Yeah.
fist and a blade comes
Yeah.
out? That's what you've
Yeah,
got there.
okay, yeah.
That's why it's a brawling weapon.
Alrighty. You should have just used my shot gloves. And just
I would say probably.
So you can
perhaps
also have your weapon becomes damaged from the strike.
Right.
there was the opponent gets a free move.
Oh, okay.
That one would be the one I'm leaning towards. But what are the other options?
So the weapon you're using gets damaged. Upgrade the difficulty of the next player character's check.
Starting to give the guy gets a free move. more
You fall
consideration.
prone.
Please don't let me fall flat on my face.
I'm not doing this just as giving you the option.
No, I was just saying that as a comment.
With your triumph, you can upgrade the difficulty of that person's next check.
So with the despair one, which we should probably deal with one at a time, I guess.
Yep.
If they get a free move, I'll take that because there's some chance that they won't get a big hit.
And then with the triumph, you could increase the difficulty on that move.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy with the big axe moves right up to Mark's character.
Yeah, no, that's what I.
That's
thought
what I
it
was worried.
possibly going.
Wait.
Because that's the person she was attacking.
He was looking at me though last.
But the thing is, there's two people between him and you,
There
and
it
one
is.
person's got a big gun,
Yeah.
and he's got something that can cut it in half.
Yeah.
But I can up the difficulty of their free
Yes.
move. Yeah.
So you can up the difficulty of their attack when they
Right.
actually get to go.
Try to do that when that happens.
That works. So we can actually say that that's going to happen next.
Yep.
And then it would
You guys all
be.
made it sound like it was a great hit, and then it's like, no, you failed.
Well, it's very rarely that they actually get to see both things happen at the
You're
same
like I'm in
time.
John Robertson's room.
You die.
Yeah,
It
pretty much.
Okay, so who just ran up there? Ross. Considering the other guy's been so beaten up, he's going for Ross with his melee of awesome.
There's a good way to resolve that.
With so Ross, do you have defense?
Yes, I've got a 2 defense.
To
But
melee
I-
defense. This is melee defense.
Yes, I've got 2 melee defense.
Where do you have? So you don't have 2 range defense?
No, I've got 1 range
Yeah.
and 2 melee
Okay.
because of my vibro sword.
So your vibro sword's out.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is a good reason why he's going for you.
Yeah. And as an instant, I am going to use dodge.
Yep.
So I take 1 strain and upgrade one of his checks.
Okay. Okay.
And I can't do a maneuver at the same time, can I?
It's not your turn, Ross.
Yeah. So basically, as soon as it's my turn, then I can use it as a maneuver. Yep. Yeah, I just couldn't work out when I could use maneuvers.
Okay. So maneuvers are on your turn only unless they grant you a maneuver.
Yeah.
Okay, so he spends his 3 advantages taking your vibro sword out of your hands and flinging it across the room. He doesn't actually hit you, but he disarms you. Okay.
So he's really good, apparently.
The floor was vibrating. I was wondering why the floor was vibrating. My phone was on the floor.
Oh. You need me to get your notes?
I will do it in here.
Well, it's not my turn, so I
Yeah,
can do
I
it.
also don't have a drink. And one of the pirate crews still continues to shoot at Mark, having been the last thing they were told to do.
Yep.
Now, I've got conditioned rank 1, which can reduce a black dice from my coordination. Will that help with my added black dice at the moment? Or?
If you're doing a coordination skill check, yes. Because it says reduce to coordination.
It says reduce rank in setback black dice from coordination or athletics check.
Yeah, so
Reduce-
are you going
Okay.
to be doing an athletics or coordination check? If the answer is yes, then yes, you can apply it. If you're going to do a gunnery check, then the answer is no, because it's not an athletics or coordination check.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, yes.
So
yes.
they are rather specific for what they will actually work on.
Yep.
Does your character have any defense for range?
Range 2?
Yep. Okay, so because Ariadna's jumped amongst them, she's actually increased the difficulty for them to shoot at you from a distance. So she's actually provided a bunch of extra defense for you.
Sweet, thank you.
Now let's see how successful that is. Apparently very successful, because they weren't able to get a hit on you that time, even though they really tried very hard.
I am very happy with that.
But with their 2 advantages, they are going to also move up to you. Pulling out vibro knives.
Oh, joy.
Sounds like it's not going doing as well as it could be.
Okay.
Nah.
So now it is a party member's turn. Who would like to go?
Is it
Me,
already at the?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because I think I've got people around
it's
me
a
right
new
now.
round, so anyone can actually act.
Okay, so yeah.
So can Ash withdraw back because I'm currently engaged with them,
He can spend a maneuver to move away from them.
and then he can blast the crap out of them without any penalty?
There will be a penalty for the ship will provide cover.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not going to be bad as him firing it in engaged, correct?
He would be having 3 purple to shoot at them at engaged.
Okay, so
If they're within engaged of him, it's 3 purple for him to just shoot.
yeah.
Because
So it's best for me to move back and then shoot, kind of thing, is what you're saying,
Yeah.
though. Yeah. Okay. I was going to ask you that question. Thank you. You beat me to it there, Ross. So I'll move back.
Are you also
as
going to
my-
auto fire? Because I can assign 2 threats to hitting a target of my choice.
So if I turn off auto fire, that means I don't get threats. Is that correct? Or?
It means that you won't have the random chance of hitting something else.
Okay. Yep.
I.e. me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Or
Yeah,
the
I can turn it
starship,
off, I
or the
think.
Gungan.
Yeah, I'll turn it off. Auto fire.
So what is your gunnery again?
Gunnery 1, agility 4.
And your...
Now,
Go ahead.
okay. The condition thing, can I use it once per turn, or is it just a once per round?
Which condition?
Yeah. The conditioned, the one I used before when I was going to the active thing, then to remove the black dice.
Yeah.
Can I use it again on my turn, or is it just a once-off thing, kind of thing, per round?
Which condition? The one that removes it from coordination and
On athletics checks. Yeah.
athletics checks. So are you doing a coordination or athletics check right
Yeah.
now?
Good point. Point taken. Thank you, man.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I just made that point, so I was just curious as to...
No. I'm just getting used to this because I'm just doing new skills on this character than the other one.
So good.
That one. Okay, so 1 in gunnery, 4 in agility, mate. So, and I would shoot to the group that just came with the vibro knives to me, I think.
So you're shooting at the group with the vibro knives?
Because they're in contact with Ross, aren't they?
Yeah,
So who's the guy with the vibro X?
they're not in.
He was in contact with me as well at the same time. So
Pick them.
the whole gang of them right in that
Okay.
line there.
So just so you know, Mark, if you actually have had auto fire on, you would have hit them twice.
Oh, dang.
Well,
Unlucky.
I'm just getting used to it all night today.
I know
so
that's
okay.
why I'm pointing these things out. So with
Yep.
your 2 advantages, you could make another maneuver if you wish to.
There's only a couple
You can give a blue dice to a specific player, or a black dice to a specific NPC.
I'm going to give a black dice to the guy with the axe.
Okay.
I think everyone wants to give a black dice to the guy with the axe.
Good choice.
Okay.
Did I-
And you did 13 damage. That means you take out one of them with this shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't take out a second one.
That's okay.
So close.
So are we coming down to 9? Or did I make that up?
What was that?
How many pirates are still
So
standing?
currently you have, out of the 12 that rushed in, you have 8 still standing,
Okay, cool. I did lose count.
Including Vibro Axe.
including Vibro Axe.
Who is the?
So who's
Okay.
going after Ash?
Oh, I was gonna say, which, is it another party member? Or
There's another party member.
I kind of want to do a kind of cool thing if you guys are okay with that.
You can do all the cool things you ever want to.
Can
Yep.
how possible would it be for me to, now that I remember I have a jetpack, to go and get an engaged range to, in the same part, put that gun away and get the fan blades out to...
Happy to see you can do that as 2 maneuvers,
Okay, I'll do it.
which means another 2 strain.
Perfectly fine. I'll do that. At half my strain now, it's fine.
Hey, doing all these things adds up very quickly.
It does. So
And which group are you landing in? So there is a person with a heavy blaster pistol with two guys still standing with blaster carbines. There is a guy with a vibro axe with 4 guys with vibro daggers around Khalid. Are you going to mess up the people who are set up for melee, or mess up the people who are set up for range?
because Kai is
With the range group?
floating.
But she's actually amongst the range group.
Oh, the range group. I will support her.
You're with the
Oh,
range group. The
yeah, but I'm
vibro.
currently
You gave the
got
free
no
move to
weapon.
the vibro X person, and he
okay, so
moved up to
moved
Khalid.
away. Yep,
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I will support her by going to the range group with the idea that Khalid and Ash and Crash
Can
are
deal with
against
it.
the other 3.
Yep.
So I'll do that. So I'm going to go support
Okay.
her.
So do you want to attack the guy with the heavy blaster pistol, or the people with the blaster carbines?
Which one does more damage? The heavy one, right?
The blaster carbines are small damage.
I want to attack one.
They hurt a lot. Trust me, they hurt a lot.
Okay, so I will attack the blaster
Yep.
carbine person.
Okay,
People.
so what is your melee?
My melee is. I have 4, but no training yet.
No training in
I'm
it?
the natural.
You are the natural.
I should probably train in this, probably.
You'll get round to it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
so-
got 0 in melee.
Are you using the Van Blades? Then it would be Brawl.
Oh, yeah. If it's Van Blades, then I have 2 ranks in Brawl.
Okay. But it changes your dice pool quite a lot.
True.
And
Let
they
me go
don't
back
have any
to-
extra bonuses, so you get do a lot of damage if you hit well. So those 2 cancel out. Okay, so you ended up with 4 net successes and a threat, which does 1 strain to you.
Okay.
So I believe your Van Braces do +1 damage to your Brawn of 4, so that's 5 plus 4, so it's doing 9 damage.
The Van Blades are in armor, correct?
Van Blades in weapons melee.
Weapons melee. Perfect. Thank you.
I believe they also have
Yep,
pierce.
it's right here. Yep.
Yep.
Van Blade. Yep.
So is it how much pierce?
Second from the bottom.
Okay, Van Blades. That doesn't have pierce.
Oh, but I had I made them special. I added monomolecular on both of the Van Blades.
Okay, I'll quickly look
Weapon
up.
mods. Modifications.
It's the slice wire I think you might think of. It's got keys.
There's an upgrade for weapons.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what she was talking about.
Okay.
So edge, monomolecular decreases the crit rating by 1. So what's the crit? What's the crit rating of your weapon? There?
Which one?
Of the Van Blades.
Van Blades. The crit weight rating is 2.
I think it's normally 3.
Yeah. So now, yeah. So it's normally 3. So now they're 2. So my crit rating is 2.
Yeah, didn't matter for that one because
I think I only got 1.
you got 1 threat, not 1 advantage.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
But did you have both out?
Yes.
So technically that made them accurate, which counted out the 1 threat. So you didn't take any strain from that one
That's good.
because accurate adds 1 advantage. So you did 9 damage. They took 4. So you take 1 of them down.
Nice.
Death from above.
Very effective.
Okay.
You're now going to go up and back down again just to get the other one, just so you can go up and back down again.
Hop, 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 hop. No, I'll stay here and help you take them out, and then we're gonna go get the other guys.
Okay, so The guy with the heavy blaster pointed at you point blank.
Potentially problematic.
Potentially. It's usually
What I
not-
wish you could do in this kind of combat
Usually not
is
great.
have like a reaction move where you could like
I believe you
block
have
someone
one
from
range
hitting
defense.
colleague or something.
actually have very poor defense.
Okay, so he takes
You guys
a.
ready for me to die?
I have even more poor.
Okay, so that is a bunch of damage for you.
I'm gonna die.
So 9 damage.
I have a soak of 6, so I take 3 damage.
So you take 3 damage.
You've got a higher soak than I do, so
And you get to do a free maneuver.
Free maneuver, I'm gonna slash his face.
That's an attack.
Oh, that's not a maneuver.
It's an action.
what's a maneuver?
Maneuver is like movement, switching weapons.
There might be a talent that you could use to help out. Some talents there you do a maneuver.
Give yourself an aim, assist someone else,
Ooh.
go into the guarded stance. So
I will go into guarded.
interact with the environment, manage gear, mount something or dismount something, drop prone or stand up, or prepare to do something. Because some weapons require preparation.
True. What do you guys think? Should I aim for his face or should I defend myself as a first round?
I mean,
I think
on
defense.
guard is what I would.
I want to go on guard, and so that just adds a black to an attack against me.
Take penalties to melee attacks for a bonus to melee defense. I have to actually look up the guarded stance
Oh, okay.
because I expect the GM screen to actually give me that level of thing.
That's
It doesn't say exactly what it does.
They don't like to help.
Defensive stance.
Actually, you've got to kind of look up all the stats.
That's why I'm like, I keep.
Yeah, defensive stance on my thing says
The guarded
use a maneuver
stance.
to increase melee attack against you
I
by
think-
rank and take equal strain.
I think guarded, that one is against range.
Guarded stance. Can take a maneuver to assume a guarded stance, helping in defense against melee attacks. So it's not actually against range, it's only versus melee.
Oh, okay. So then it
Okay,
makes
that's the
sense.
same as defensive
a-
stance.
What was that, Ross? Sorry?
That looks like it's the same as defensive stance.
Yeah, except everyone can do guarded stance, not everyone can do defensive stance.
Okay.
So what it does is you perform the maneuver to add a setback to any combat checks.
Oh, setback, not upgrade. Yeah, fair enough, cool.
You said that.
Sorry, I'm just stopping to make sure Ross is finished before I start again. Yeah, a character who performs this maneuver adds setbacks to any combat checks they make until the end of their next turn. However, they also gain melee defense 1 until the end of their next turn. Okay. So it doesn't actually increase your melee. If you had a 0, you gain 1.
Yeah. No.
If you have a 2, you can reduce it to 1.
Yeah. No. I only have 1, so it doesn't. So yeah, it doesn't matter. So I mainly just want to be guarded against attacks towards me.
So if you were to aim, it gives you a blue dice against a specific target. So you can decide, I'm going to aim against the guy with the gun, and when you go against them next, you get a blue dice.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that then. So I will be aiming towards them for my next turn.
Yep. Okay, so that's their mistake. And that leaves just the pirate crew with the vibro daggers out. So,
Just leaves the pirate crew.
Yeah, the crew.
Yeah.
well,
Just.
they are minions, so
Yeah.
amongst them they get 1 attack. So Mark, your melee defense is 1.
Yeah, but I'm going to use a maneuver,
Yep.
defensive stance, to increase the melee attack against you by rank.
So
And take it
so you're going to use the
Yeah.
maneuver.
Yeah, I'll have to go. I get strain on that, I believe. Is that correct?
So you're going to use the maneuver on someone else's turn.
It says use a maneuver to increase melee attack against you.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to be in
You're on your
you have to do it in the turn.
Oh, do I have to? Oh, so it's on instant.
That's why I use dodge,
Okay.
because that's an instant.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Because I haven't acted yet.
That's why I was asking.
Come on.
I said that was why I was asking, because if it says maneuver, you have to do it on your turn as one of your maneuvers that you get.
No problem. So I now know how to use it now. Thank you. That's
Okay.
alright. Thank you.
Okay. Well, actually, you moved away, so it's actually against Ross. So Ross, what's your melee defense?
Well, since I don't have my vibro sword up, and I haven't acted yet, it's currently at 1 at the moment.
Because they're not going to move from target because they're with you at the moment.
Yeah, because I haven't acted yet, I haven't put defensive stance on. So I've only got 1 defense at the moment.
So that is a hit on you with damage of 4 with pierce of 2.
Bounces. Well, I'll go a soak of 6.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Too many medications making noise.
Okay, so now it is a party member's go who hasn't gone yet this round. I've been
I was going to say crush.
Crash has stuck up hand.
Does it cost me anything to change weapon?
It's a maneuver.
Sure, I will change weapon. I will pull out my ionization blaster.
It won't take anyone out because none of them are droids.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
It will disorient them, which will add a black dice to their attacks for a number of rounds equal to disorient, and that's all it will do if it hits them.
Fine. Alright, I will go with my SWE/2 sonic rifle.
Mm-hmm.
Which is...
Does that have the blast quality?
It has concussive 1, slow firing 1, stun damage.
Okay, so you're looking to knock them out.
Yep.
Okay, so what type of weapon is it?
It's a ranged heavy.
And have you got skill in that? No,
No.
you don't. You've got 3.
Cutting. Willpower, presence.
So you said it was ranged heavy?
Yes.
Okay, so currently you do have guys next to you, so it does make your attack roll harder. Because you're within range of people.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the 2 of these?
Yeah.
And who are you shooting at? The guy with the vibro swords, daggers, the guy with the big axe, the people with the heavy blaster, or with the rifles?
I'll go the rifles.
Okay.
You have a shotgun
I did, but this goes longer.
Yes, but
Okay.
if he used that shotgun, he would then either hit you or hit one of the other people because you're fighting him in melee.
Yeah.
So he would automatically hit them. So you managed to
It does 8 damage.
hit those guys. He doesn't. The last one there doesn't go down, but you can allow them to perform a free maneuver, or you can give an allied character a black dice, a friend a black dice.
Sure, I will give a friend a black dice.
Which one?
Can I pick anyone, or does it just go to whoever's next?
Oh, the next
Alright.
allied character to go get the black dice.
Next person gets a black dice.
That's me. I'm the only person left.
Okay.
I tapped too fast and Google rolled me.
Actually, yeah, I believe there's
that's
two allied characters left.
Oh yeah, true.
Is it?
Who else hasn't? I think
I
Khaled
haven't
hasn't
acted
acted.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So between you and Khaled.
Yeah.
So who wants the black dice?
Not me.
Yeah. I get it.
I guess he called not it.
Yeah, well,
So you have two people with you at the moment.
right.
One has a heavy blaster, one has the blaster carbine.
Who's the one that hit me? The heavy blaster one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that one is the target of my iron currently.
You can choose to do 2-weapon fighting, which means you increase the difficulty by 1, and if you get 2 advantages, you can then make it a second
Well, I've still
attack,
got my Vanguard,
or
so
just do it as a critical hit and take someone out.
That's
pretty
still
cool.
got my Vanguards out, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be 2-weapon fighting, yeah.
So 2-weapon fighting would be I add an extra purple, makes it harder.
Yeah.
Or we just leave it as it is, and you say if you're critical, you're just going to kill someone outright.
I'll probably kill someone outright, I guess it's guaranteed.
I think you'd be okay with that.
Rather than,
Well, then just trying to apply more damage.
I'd rather a guaranteed
dice.
knockout as opposed to...
Black dice does nothing. And you succeed, so you take out that last guy with the
Sorry.
rifle.
I am happy, I'm just really sore.
I know. I'm cheerleading.
Okay. That brings us over to Ross.
Okay, can I use a maneuver to pick up my sword?
No.
I think it's energy or...
You'd have to disengage, then make a maneuver to move over to where your sword is, and then picking up your sword is a third maneuver. You can only get 2 maneuvers in a round on your turn.
That sucks.
Because moving out of reach of the people is an entire maneuver.
Yeah.
Moving beyond that is a maneuver in itself. Because the whole disengage is I take a step away as an entire maneuver.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, we'll have to maneuver out.
Yep.
Sling my blaster. Okay, which will give me the more is the more disadvantage? Using my blaster rifle or pistol?
Neither,
More damage.
because only if they're in engaged do you have a penalty. So if you're moved
Okay.
out of engaged, then you have to spend another maneuver to draw it, taking 2 strain.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah.
And then when they close into melee with you, you add an extra 2 dice to your ranged attack if they're engaged with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I maneuver towards the sword. Flip. Then use another maneuver to get my rifle out, and I'll shoot the guy with the axe.
So you're disengaging and drawing the weapon as your 2 maneuvers. Yes.
Yep.
And
So
shooting at
that's
the guy
taking
with the
2
axe.
strain for that.
Yep.
Pity I can't do another one for aim, but
So what is your
And-
ranged heavy?
yeah. So is 1 yellow, 1 green.
1 yellow, 1 green.
Yeah.
I don't know, if you bring a sword to an axe fight, I don't know that you're going to come out very well.
If I had the vibro sword, I'd be
Only you
tearing
can
him apart with it.
Okay,
backpack to
so that
pierce
ended up
people with the
as
sword.
2 threat. So you want the opponent to immediately do a free maneuver. Do you want to add a blue to their next check? Do you want to provide a black dice to a party member?
I'm probably next, I believe, Ross. So.
Yeah.
Next is end of round, so any person can actually
Oh
go.
yeah. Yep. Sorry. Yes, I'm on. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could get the black dice and I could see whether or not I could do the hit that I just did before again.
No, I'll put the black dice on myself.
You don't choose who it's on.
No,
it's
it's
the
just
next active player.
But I'm happy to be the
Oh,
next
okay.
player and take the black dice.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'll go for blue dice.
Okay.
Oh, blue dice to the bad guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Blue guys
Well-
to the axe wielder. Specifically to the axe wielder.
Oh god. Okay.
Because it's the targeted character's next check.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because it's either going to be a blue or black.
Okay, so that ends the round. And now I'm going to have Mr. Axe Wielder go next.
Now he's got a blue dice.
Now he's got a blue dice on top of things. He does a maneuver to re-engage.
Which person?
I really was happy to take that
Ross.
blue dice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm still
Okay.
checking.
Okay, I
He's the biggest
activate
threat right
dodge.
So you choose to dodge.
Yep,
So that increases the check by 1.
yep.
And you've got melee defense of 1.
That's correct.
And he's going to take 2 strain to aim. Because he has strain.
Yeah. I still got some strain left. And I've taken 4 at the moment.
So he's the equivalent of a PC.
Mm.
That is a lot of dice.
There is. Okay, so I take that,
That
and that
does not give me any
away.
confidence whatsoever.
He didn't
Take that
actually
away.
succeed.
But he ended up with 6 advantages.
So
Did he have any
feels
black
really
dice
good
still,
about
or
what he's done.
last session, or
He's
Is that
doing
clean
a
now?
really cool spinning
Okay,
axe
so
move.
he flicks away your heavy weapon with his axe. Basically, disarms you a second time.
That's alright,
Wow. Yeah.
because I wasn't going to use the rifle this round.
Well, you wouldn't be able to then, because you're only basically taking a single step every time you disengage. You're not actually moving across the room to your sword. So it would be lots of disengages if he keeps keeping up with you. Okay, and for his next 3 ones, what does he do? He can do lots of things. He's going to give his next friend 2 blue and all his other friends a blue.
oh no.
And then he's going to heal some of his own strain because, well, that's what he can do. Okay, so next person to act is going to be the guy with the heavy weapon, the heavy blaster.
That's not what I
And shoot
killed
the
it.
Axeman in the back.
What was that?
I didn't kill it.
And shoot the Axeman in the back.
The guy with the heavy blaster.
Oh, no, I
You killed the guy
thought
with the
they had
heavy. You killed the guy with the rifle.
Okay. All right.
The one with the heavy blaster was the one pointing at me.
Okay.
And then you killed the other one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so there should be a blaster, carbine guy, 4 vibro knife guy, and the axe
My
guy. Right?
visualization's not great, so I get confused very easily.
Oh, good. Okay, so Mr. Pistol's going to aim at Kayana.
You're wearing armor at least, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm
One-
high
one-
soaked.
Okay, so that and that go away.
It doesn't look good.
So that looks like a critical hit to me.
What is a crit?
Yeah. It is
Oh,
3.
no.
Hey, y'all ready for me to have another
So-
limp?
Yeah, I think
It
so.
is 9 damage.
7-3.
Yep.
So 3 gets through, which means I then roll. You haven't had any critical hits on any of this combat.
No.
So it's 3 plus whatever I roll, which turns out to be 10 because it could have been 100.
Thank
It came
goodness.
so close to being 100.
This is how I lost my arm the first time.
So on a 10, that is slowed down. The target can only act during the last allied initiative slot on this turn.
I go last.
So
okay.
you go last this turn.
Perfectly fine.
So you have an easy critical hit.
Thank God. I got lucky.
Okay, so now it is a party member's go, not Kayana.
How?
Now, does anyone want to go instead of me, or?
How? Can I do like a steam patch or anything like that?
Oh, I'm
You
okay.
could,
What would
but
that?
she's actually not that badly
She's okay.
done.
I'm okay.
Yeah. So it's not like she's even down or knocked out. A stim patch can bring her back into the fight.
And how close am I to the person who's...
You're basically both fighting around this person. So you don't have to move at all to reach them because you're considered engaged.
They're here, I'm here, you're here. You can go.
So you can attack with that versus that plus anything. He upgrades one of those automatically. And so it'll be basically that versus that.
And...
You can also choose to aim, giving that.
Yeah, I'll do that. I might do that if it's possible.
It is possible.
Shame I can't use my rocket boots to jam my fan blade into him. You're not allowed to do that sort of shit, right?
You can thematic. You can do it with your description. Okay, so
Oh, did I fail?
yes, technically,
Yes. Oh,
but you failed without anything bad. So no penalty, no success. But you did tie him up.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing happened.
As you fire off your rocket boots to slam him with the blades, he sort of zigged when you zagged.
Yeah.
All good. I think for next player turn, Mark wanted to go next.
Yeah. I just thought since
Yes,
I'm
right.
next to you, it's probably not going to make a difference when I went.
So
And I think because Mark's in with the other group, it doesn't kind of make a difference in terms of...
so Mark, who are you shooting at with your big gun?
I've got a axe guy in front of me.
An ex guy that's beating up your car lid.
Well, I'm successfully parrying him.
Well, he's
Okay.
beating on Khalid. Not exactly beating him up. If you had gotten success, that would have been a devastating critical.
Okay, so I think I should take out the 4 vibro knife guys because there's a lot of them. Which are just behind, I believe, the X guy. Is that correct?
That is correct. What is your gunnery again? It's 1 green.
Up.
So
Can I do a aim action?
You can do an aim action. You can even do 2 aim actions if you take 2 strain.
I haven't used any strain at all, so I'm going to take 2 aim actions,
Okay.
and then I'm going to turn on auto.
Yeah,
And you
because
go to-
I'm no longer near it.
Yep.
The gunman
then
is near it though.
There's 1 gunnery for Julie Martin. So yep.
We don't want you as a character just yet.
Okay, so let's
You just
see.
really hate guns, apparently.
So those 2 become successes. When the success on this thing, get rid of those 2. So looks like you did quite a lot of damage.
Nice.
I like that.
So 18 points of damage,
Nice.
Yep.
which means that
That's a big gun.
Sorry, what's that?
Got 18 points of damage. Wow.
He's got a huge gun.
It's a big gun.
Yeah, my gun does
Not
12
talking
normally.
metaphorically
So.
either.
No.
I think it's got 13 on there, Mark.
Is it? Oh.
Have you
Maybe
already
when
looked
I-
at it?
I will upgrade it tonight then. to
Have you
13,
looked?
sorry.
Have you looked at the
Because
sheet?
it's a superior quality.
Yep, I was going to ask you about that after the game, Martin, what that means, but that's okay. Yep.
If you look at the sheet I sent you, it has 13 written on there.
Did it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you've tried to put all the numbers in.
It also has Pierce 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to put that sheet in because I
Oh.
didn't.
Yes.
Maybe I
Switch
didn't
had
put that bit
electric
off.
shock like I
No,
do.
just
Which means you would have been taking out more of them if I had been looking at your sheet.
It's just...
That's okay. That's all right. I'll double check.
yeah.
Print out I did because I didn't think I had it on there. So my apologies. Okay. All good. It's a learning night, so I'm okay with that.
So you take out 3 of them while you're doing that,
Nicely done.
Yep.
leaving 1 left standing.
Not bad.
I'm okay with that.
Pretty
That gives less people to hurt me, which is good for a person with 2 wounds left.
Okay, person that leaves. Who have I got left? I've had this round. I've had the leader move. I've had the,
Crash.
and then it's just got the guy with the vibro dagger who's going against Crash. Pirate groups left.
Crash lid and then Bravery. All 12 Crash and led in no particular order, and then.
So I was referring to how many of the NPCs that you were going up against had left the room.
Yeah.
So
Thankfully, we're not doing too bad.
No.
he tries to stab our Gungan.
No!
I believe he succeeds in stabbing the Gungan.
He's a boy.
No!
So he hits the Gungan for 4 damage with Pierce 2. So what is your
Soak is
soak
3.
is 3. So that means it becomes soak of 1. So he does 3 damage to the Gungan.
Oh, I forgot to equip.
I was going to say that was the one that you were looking through. And
Yeah,
Do it,
I
yeah.
was, yes. Was looking through the thing and just didn't get to the point of, oh shit, that's right, I need to put that shit on.
Okay, so now we're up to party members again. We should have 3 party members left. Yes, you've got a guy who's just stabbed you with a vibro knife.
Well, in that case, he'd be at like point blank range.
He is. It's called engaged range.
yes.
Shock gloves
Shock gloves could knock him out.
Sure, let's use the good old Darth Vader
Fuzzy hands?
shock gloves.
So that would be. Do you have any ranks in brawl?
In brawn.
Brawl.
Oh,
No.
brawl.
No, you don't. But you've got 2.
Oh, yes, I do. I've got 1.
That's your class.
Your class.
Means that it costs you 5 less to actually learn it.
So if you have a rank in it, it's these extras.
Oh, right, okay.
Do you wish to aim your punch?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Because you can spend a maneuver to do so. Which
Yes.
means it's a fairly even sort of fight at this stage. Except you have more dice than he does. Okay, so you miss, but you get.
We seem to be like that at the moment.
Interesting.
So
The
you
dice
can
hate
remove
me.
1 strain if you've got strain. You can notice a single important point of the ongoing
Got
conflict.
12 strain.
So if you had taken damage to your strain, because strain is when that gets to 0, you're knocked out.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't taken any strain.
So you can add a blue dice to the next active allied player's check.
That would actually be nice, right? Yeah.
It'd be Ross before it's you, unfortunately.
I mean, he could use one right now.
Sure.
Yep.
Like a blue dice that way.
Okay, so that brings us to the next character. Who is going next?
Maybe
Ross.
It has to be Ross, yeah.
Okay. So it's going to take me, was it 2 maneuvers to get to my sword?
1 maneuver to disengage, then you can do one maneuver to move over to your sword. Because it's a maneuver to pick it up.
And
So
I can
3.
maximum of 2 maneuvers.
Yes, maximum of 2 maneuvers.
Do you have any more weapons on you?
Me.
No.
Oh.
Yes, I
I had
do.
trouble turning my head
No,
at a
that's
certain
alright.
point of the night.
Unlike me, yes, I've got plenty of weapons.
Everything just stiffens up the more and more I sit in the
I
chair.
have
Okay.
all the weapons.
I
That's why I sound so tired.
Disengage.
Cheers.
Yep, so you disengage.
Yep.
Do you spend 2 strain to pull a weapon?
2 strain to pull out my pistol
Yep.
and shoot him,
Okay.
which is 1 yellow, 1 green. So I'm now down to 6 strain.
Okay. So you can choose with your threat to take 1 strain, or well, unfortunately, you don't have an active maneuver to lose the benefit of. So you've got the choice of 1 strain at this stage,
Okay,
Great.
so I'm now down to 5 strain.
and you hit. How much damage does your weapon do?
Well, at least you hit. That's more effective than some of us today.
It has no extra damage. It's just a success.
Yeah, so so it's damage 6.
The damage 6. He takes 1 point of damage from you.
It's just times where I'm just like, the
Okay.
dice might as well just, you know.
Kayana, we're up to you now at the end of the list.
Guess whose face I was aiming at this whole time? I'm gonna take out the heavy range dude
Yep.
with the fan blades that I've been aiming at his face.
Yep. So that is
So I have two yellow.
Already blue. You can actually,
And,
if you wish to
blue.
take 2 strain, you can add 2 more blue to that.
I'm like at half my strain. Do you regain
You-
the strain after combat
After
or after
combat.
rest? Oh, well, after combat, then yeah, let's add 2.
Okay. So the difficulty is that he has no extra defense.
Feeling good.
Did you want to go for two weapon attack, which increases the difficulty by 1 purple?
Yeah, why not? That's fine.
Okay.
None.
So take those
At
out.
some point, not yet.
You
Looks
didn't do it?
okay.
Hold on, 1 second. You guys will see. Yeah, no, I have an idea. It's just like all these dice go down, and then suddenly it's kind of like you feel real good about yourself, but do nothing.
Trying to add up quickly, so those go away. It's always easier when you do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that becomes that, and that becomes that.
Yeah.
So you ended up with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 advantages.
Yeah. And nothing
Wow.
else.
I was aiming really good. Okay.
Very impressed.
So you can gain 1 to melee or range defense until the end of your next turn. You can force them to drop their weapon. That's 2 different things you can do.
Oh,
You can do both of those.
yes, but why not? Let's just do both of those.
And then you can also recover 1 strain
You might need to
on
do
top of that. And that's all of, that's 3 things you can do with that roll.
I will do all of those 3 things.
So you see his weapon go flying across the place as well, like Ross's weapons have been doing. Obviously you've been paying attention.
Yeah, yeah.
And technically you could also have decided to attack his weapon and sundered it 3 times, but this is probably more
I was gonna
cinematic
say this is more.
because you can then sell the weapon later.
Yeah,
Keep
selling the
it.
weapon
I'll
later.
give it to Ross so he's got one weapon.
Another weapon to lose.
Yep.
Okay, that brings us to the leader, who can move across and enter engaged with 1 maneuver.
Okay.
So Ross.
Who's he doing that?
He's,
to?
he's chasing Ross because Ross looks like he's about to pick up a stabby stab.
Yeah, but basically one shot him if I
I'd
actually
like to
hit
say
him.
I'm the kind of leader with the presence that would draw the attention of another leader of the group, but apparently I don't have my stabby stab out, so...
Well, he's focused because the other guy seems to have not been targeting him at the moment. Let me see. Ross has 1 black against him.
I'll dodge.
So you're taking 2 strain to do so.
No, it's 1 strain.
1 strain.
Yeah, so I'm down to 4.
2 and
Anytime when we're only fight and, you know, you've got so much strain and that...
He's
like,
gonna
we
take-
use up all the strain, you know... we're just
he's going to take
gonna
2 strain to
do
aim.
this.
He's so mean. He's very skilled apparently.
He is very skilled. So those 2 go away. Those 2 go away. That goes away. So Ross will be completely messed up if he was critically hitting. So he got 3 net hits.
Wow.
But
So
he
why
actually
can't we
hit.
get the bad guys those dice rolls? And...
I know, right?
So
Apparently
that,
I need to get good.
so that means he's doing 12 damage with Pierce 2.
Okay,
That's...
so I take. So I've got armor of. So I've got a soak of 6.
So that means you only have a soak of 4 because of the
4.
Pierce.
And what do you need? 12, so I take 8
You
points.
take 8 points, yes.
what does
So-
that mean?
I am bloodied. I'm pissed off. I've taken half damage.
Okay. So, for the purposes of mechanics, he's not actually that bad off. Would have been bad if he had gone down.
It is but a flesh wound.
Okay, that leaves
Oh wow.
the other guy with the heavy weapon. I believe he's still standing. The heavy blaster pistol. You didn't take him down.
No, I didn't take
But
him
did you
down.
lose it?
I took his weapon out.
You took his weapon. Does he have any other weapons? I don't think he does.
Okay.
Mm.
So the perfect
Misty
time
punch.
for it, right?
He should have spent more.
He pulls out 2 stun grenades.
I was thinking about this earlier.
Oh.
We don't have any reaction or dodge or anything like that. I don't know. Only
Some of you do. He can only throw one, which is the advantage you guys have. But you're not going to throw one at him. He's going to throw one at the Gungan because that's the only one who's not around one of his other guys.
Nice,
He
yeah.
can't reach Mark because Mark's just that too far away.
Yeah.
Well,
You're
it's
so
fortunate.
worried about it.
So, hopefully you can.
He's
I
so
wouldn't use
good.
my pistol this
So
time.
you know, yeah, he's pretty graceful.
I mean,
Gungan.
you're pretty agile, so.
You got a chance of beating this, right?
The grenade lands near you and doesn't go off.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Throw it back at him.
I'm just kidding, don't do that, that's a bad idea. I'm over there.
Okay, so party members go. Does this mean someone just said throw it back at him?
No.
I'm over there, please don't.
I'm left.
So who would like to go?
You want to
There are
go?
two- Yep.
Me.
Go ahead.
I will first of all put on.
Oh, I also forgot.
Didn't you already go?
No,
Because you
new round.
used the shock gloves.
New round.
New round.
Around.
Okay.
I did forget the knife guy, but I think I did use him. Yeah,
You
no,
did.
I did use
You
him
did.
last round. Yes, yeah.
So you did
party.
use
Did Ariadna have a go?
She did. She went before you did.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, fair
I
enough.
was pretty useless
Uh,
as usual.
one, I'm going to very quickly put on some armored clothing.
It takes you a little while to put it on. More than action.
More than
Odin.
You can spend a force point to say I had previously had it on but forgot about it
Enforcement renew the
at the
end of
start of
session.
yeah.
Yep, you can spend a force point and keep wearing it.
Alright, use a force point to put on my armored clothing.
You're always wearing your armor clothing.
No, he hadn't finished doing it up.
Yeah, this is the armored clothing.
It was half undone.
They just kept going
Yeah.
past
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it in Fabio mode, so showing his chest.
Yeah, I'm going to fire my SWE/2 sonic rifle at the dude that
Through the stun grenade?
yes.
through the stun grenade. And is that a heavy weapon?
It is.
Okay.
Haven't you fired that one?
He has, yes.
Isn't that slow?
I am not looking at the weapon, so I can't tell you.
Yes, slow firing.
So that means it requires a action to recharge,
Oh,
I believe.
Oh, fine. I will.
Or because he used his shock gloves
It
and he
takes
actually
around
use it?
two.
Or does he actually have to
there's been more
activate
than a round.
to
In which
recharge?
case, I believe you use your... Sorry, I'm having people talk over me at the moment. I was just trying to figure out what had happened. And last round he used his shock gloves, not his
Yes.
thing, so yes, it's reload.
Ah.
So as long as you keep alternating, it's
Yep.
fine.
Cool. I will go back to using my.
And you aim.
I do aim.
Because you're firing while the vibro knife guy is next to you, you get 2 purple added to your difficulty.
Sure.
Because he's in engaged range with someone. Which does make things harder sometimes. Those 2 go away. One of those go away. We'll need to know how much your crit rating is. Oh, actually, won't need to. Because that's basically for advantages. You can make the guy with the stun grenade drop the stun grenade.
Sure.
wait, the other stun grenade?
He had to. He pulled 2
Yeah,
out.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So drop
the other stone grenade, because you can make him drop what he's holding.
drop an active stone grenade, or that it
Not
just.
necessarily activate it. It just says he drops the weapon.
I would like to not be activated.
You would like not to be stunned right now?
On the bright side, I believe it's only a last 8 stun, so your circle would get through most of it, would counteract most of it. His wouldn't. So it would mess him up more than you if he actually.
Okay,
dropped.
sorry. Yeah, then I interrupted.
So yes, you can have him drop his weapon. You could give yourself bonuses for melee, so the guy who's attacking you has a harder time at it.
That's just
Yeah, I'll take the melee bonus.
And you can give the next person to act a blue dice.
All
boost.
the blue dice.
Sure, I will do the melee bonus and the blue dice.
Okay, so that is first person to act on your group. Who's the next person to act?
Oh, I'm happy.
Get blue dice.
No one else.
If you
No one
go,
else
go
can?
ahead. If you want to.
Yep. So
There is a big axe guy attacking Khalid. There is a knife guy attacking your Gungan Crash, and there is a weaponless guy being accosted by 2 Mandalorians on the other side of the yard.
I have to go for the axe. The other ones look like they're covered at the moment. So,
Okay.
but I have a lot of strain left over at the moment.
Yep. So you're going to take 2 aim.
I'm going to do aim twice, and then I'm also turning off auto fire because I've only got one person there. I don't want to hurt Ross. And then I'll target him. So it's 1 gunnery for agility. Thanks, mate.
Nice. Well, I say nice. I don't actually know what any of that means. It
Yeah,
just
the
sounded
successes
good.
cancel out. That is that becomes an
I'm gonna
advantage.
take over rolling at this stage.
Yeah.
So you ended up with 6 advantages.
You should
So
definitely take over rolling.
That's what I'm thinking.
you could force him to drop his axe.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
Drop his axe.
I'm going to drop his axe, yes. That's the first one I'm going to do.
and
Yep.
Sorry, I was hand.
you could then you can give a blue dice to the next active allied character.
Yep. That'll be good.
I'd like to do
You
that
can
too.
give one to a specific one and to the next one.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'd like to... I'll give it to 2 people. I'll, like the next one and the next
you can name someone and give it to the next active character.
So.
Okay.
Can
so I'll
that
get-
stack?
He can't know who's going next at this point.
No, but I'm just saying, can that stack?
Yes, they can.
Ooh.
Okay, so next active character will get a blue dice. The person I choose
Pikachu!
is Khalid.
Khalid. Okay, so that means if Carla goes next, he'll end up with.
Yes, I'll go next.
I was gonna say, I think it's
Axe guys.
axe guys go, and then I agree that
No, the axe guy's already gone.
It's
He's cut me in half.
actually knife guy goes next,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
who's currently attacking Gungan and gets a
Oh.
black dice because of what he'd chosen to do.
Did we damage the axe guy? Or?
He's suffered 1 point of damage.
Oh, is that all? Oh. Okay.
Oh, look, one's better than nothing. Should someone else be... Oh, no, this is Axe guy. We can't take that roll.
So this one's attacking.
Maybe we should
Nice.
do now.
Wow. What?
Okay, so he gets 1 whole advantage against you,
What is with your rolling?
I know. It's only advantage and disadvantage.
and he gives the next person on his team a blue dice.
That's funny.
Okay, so it's now party member's turn.
Yep. So I'll go.
I'm wondering.
I'll use a maneuver to pick up the axe,
Yep.
and I'll hit
The axe is not necessarily next to him because someone has just shot it out of his hands.
Yeah.
You are over your vibro sword, not the vibro axe.
I would put the front sword though.
Okay. Well,
Because you said you moved over to the vibro sword. When
Okay, I thought-
if
okay.
someone was to shoot something out of someone's hand, I don't think it would just drop straight to their feet.
Okay, fair enough. I'll pick up my vibro axe,
Sword.
So,
vibro sword. Yep. Which I'll probably call axe.
Raise it above your head and say, I have
Just as a
power, and
confusion.
then call a green panther to your side.
And I'll attack him with it.
What is your melee?
My melee is 1, and I've got a brawn of 3.
I wonder if that's possible in Star Wars. On years of a green cat-like creature with yellow stripes, getting yourself a sword.
Yep.
Like a cabin. Plenty of planets.
Okay.
I'm a beast ranger.
Are you going to aim for a second for 2 strain?
No. Due to the fact that I've only got, like, what was it, 4 strain left or something like that.
Okay, so those two cancel each other out. So that ends up being a 2 threat. So you can either allow them to perform 1 free maneuver, add blue to their next check. You can take the next allied character to act can take a black on that check.
Yeah, I'll have to do the black.
I was gonna say that. That's what I would go with too.
Okay.
Oh, on the front side, I got my sword back.
So who's next?
I think it's only
Hey,
me.
quick question, Martin.
Yep.
Oh, no, you haven't gone.
Was there 2 blue dice on that one as well? Or?
On that one?
Yeah, because that was because I said the next person and then everyone to us. So I just thought I'd ask a question.
Then I may have forgotten to roll them, or I've already discounted them.
What happened?
I can't remember what dice I rolled on that type.
Yeah, I can see one blue, but the camera thing is not showing the whole tray.
Well, I can't see it at the moment, so I'll switch over to it. That's what it's showing. Well, that is close to the whole tray.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, I only saw one blue.
Look, as if we can leave it for the next character, Martin. I'm happy with that. I thought I'd just check with you.
Oh, the extra blue die.
I may have
you
forgotten to put
only
one on.
rolled 1 blue
Okay.
die.
We'll add one to this one then.
Okay. Did you want to go next so you can beat up the guy that's been harassing you?
if she's
They're-
still have to go last.
No, only for that one round.
But I'm pretty sure she wants to get this guy because he's like...
Martin.
being
Yeah.
up.
I'll actually spend a strain for a maneuver.
No, it's
So-
two strain for a maneuver unless you got something
Yeah.
particular here.
Oh, that's right. No, I'll say that just do a dodge instead. So they'll be only using 1 strain because they'll end up using 3 strain to do that one.
Yes, because you've already done a maneuver to pick up your weapon.
Yeah.
It would be 2 strain on top of whatever the cost of the maneuver is.
Yeah, there's 1 strain on top of that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just leave it for dodge if he attacks me.
Okay, back to current players
Yeah.
go.
I'm happy you want to send this guy
Yeah.
to bed.
Yeah. So I will aim
I'll probably
and
move on to
uh,
people. We'll let you-
fan blades on
1 aim, 2 aim,
1 aim.
1 aim.
So yeah, you're getting that extra blue die from Mark.
Actually, never mind. 2 aim because then you have the black dice and I'm going to counteract with that. So I'll add 1 more string.
Because of the
The other bad guy.
the other person had added it to the next.
So yep, that's it.
For the last go, so I
Okay, that would take a lot of advantages.
They said there's a black die there.
See what I said I have.
So that becomes an advantage. That becomes an advantage. That one goes away.
That's okay. There's a lot of raining.
That becomes 2 failure. That goes away. That goes away. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
It doesn't look like
advantages
she
this
did you
time.
badly.
He has nothing for him to disarm.
Oh, right. Really?
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd knock him out this time around.
I got 8 advantages though.
Wow.
So you can give blue dice to different allied targets.
I will give
You can't do a free
I think I might be the
maneuver.
last person left there.
for that.
But
for this round.
but it can also be I can give blue dice for some
Yeah.
next round as well. But I will be giving you blue dice.
Can I give it to
2 blue dice.
Well, it's one blue die. You can technically you're supposed to only activate each one once. So you can give
Okay.
one character specifically a blue dice.
And
You can give one character specifically a black dice, the one you've just tried to hit.
Yep.
You can't do the free maneuver.
8 successes.
8 advantage.
Advantage.
You can give yourself ranged defense +1 because he has no melee weapons, and
No one else has range. Everybody else. Everybody
or you
else
can
is
give yourself a
still-
melee defense +1.
I will give Thea a blue dice. I will give myself a melee defense +1.
So that's 5 of your 8.
And then I can give him a black dice.
Yep. And then you can give the next active player a blue dice.
And I will give the next active player a blue dice, which she's the last one to go. So,
Yeah.
Can I get any weapons that I can easily transfer to that would do more damage than I am rest of the time? I want you to know my character.
Well,
Because I'm starting to think Van Braces aren't doing enough.
it's just that we haven't been hitting.
No.
technically the fan braces are your best
Okay,
shot
so
right
stick
now.
with it, just try and hit it.
Yeah.
Alright. I roll my dice.
You can roll your
And
dice.
you give me the dice I need to roll.
Okay.
And if I fail on this, I will try my best not to cry.
And you can spend a maneuver to aim, giving you an extra one.
Okay. So it's all the dice. Oh,
That's okay.
oh, it's underneath it. It came up blank.
Just
Would
roll
you
it
wanna
in.
re-roll it? Ooh.
Well,
Maybe not ooh.
I have to come up with 3 blanks.
because
Oh, no, 'cause I'm
nice
good
like that.
at not killing myself.
Okay, so
justice.
that ended up being
That.
3 successes.
Oh, good job.
The 3 successes mean that your fan blades that do 3 damage normally. With the extra successes means it will be doing 5. You can take 2 strain to do an extra point of damage,
Yes,
making it
please.
6. With his 2 soak means he takes 4. So he takes 4 of that damage. So you actually do hit him quite well. So that's basically half his hit points gone in that one blow in the end.
At least we finally got one.
Well, he's been hit a couple of times, but
Thank you.
most of the time he's not hit by much.
Yeah.
So that ends out the round.
Perfect. So now we're at the top of the round.
Now
See if I
that,
can hit him again.
well, the pirate captain
We'll go next.
will go next. He disengages from Ross and then slings down his heavy blaster rifle and shoots at him.
Ooh.
Okay, I think dodge still actually affects that as well.
And he's doing this within range, right? Or,
Well,
no,
he's
he
doing this-
disengaged, so
He's
he's
disengaged. He will spend
Yeah.
2 strain to draw the weapon.
so he's short.
So if him, strain doesn't damage him, but everyone else in the combat on the other side, strain, every point of strain is a wound.
Right.
Yep. So I'll use 1 strain to activate dodge, which upgrades the difficulty by 1.
And he can't aim at you. Well, that's going to be interesting.
Oh no.
So that is 2 successes, 2 advantages, and a triumph. So he's going to use his triumph to make it a critical hit. So it doesn't have any extra pierce, so that means it does 11 damage. So how much is your
6.
6. So that means that's plus 5. And you've got 1 critical injury already.
No, I haven't suffered a critical yet.
You haven't suffered a critical. It's been everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 67 plus 6 is 73. So 73 on the scale of things is you're being hamstrung. You've lost your free maneuver until the end of the encounter.
Thank goodness it's just that, though.
Which means if he wants to aim, it's going to cost him 2 strain to do so.
Oh, I'm not going to be aiming.
Just blindly shooting.
Well, if you want to move into melee with him, it's also going to cost you 2.
So just don't move.
Okay, then I believe it is the
Vibro guys.
Vibro guy's going to go, and he's going to try to attack our Gungan again because they're having this, fight off where the Gungan's completely ignoring him, and he's being particularly useless, but he is aiming. So he doesn't feel quite as useless. He inflicts a whole 3 damage with a pierce of 2. So what's your
3
3? So
plus my armor.
what's your armor?
Oh yeah, you
8
said that.
armor.
So you also may add an extra die to defense. So the defense also.
I thought you just
an
just
extra
adds
soak.
1.
Extra
So
soak.
soak will be 4.
4. So he does 1 point of damage to you, and 2 points to himself.
And question:
Yep.
did that include my melee bonus, or is that for defense, or is that for attack?
Your melee bonus is to your attack.
Ah, attack. Okay, that's right.
All good. And that's him done. So 2 party members will be able to act in a row here. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Yep.
Do you want to fight this knife guy?
I.
He's like,
okay.
yeah, I'm getting
You want to turn on the
time.
knife guy? You could spend a maneuver to step out of his reach and then turn and attack him with 1 purple. But you can't use the same gun you're
No.
using.
So
Or you can just punch him.
I'm gonna go back to my tried and trusty shocky gloves.
Yep.
With my melee bonus, and
Where's your melee bonus again from?
I think you got that in a roll as a one-time action.
ah, right, okay, sorry.
It was a melee defense, yes. And that lasted until he got
Okay.
a couple of successes on it. So that's basically what you'd be rolling against him. You can aim to give yourself the extra bonus.
Does that mean I use strain?
No, if you use
Yeah,
2,
that's a
it's
big
an
one.
extra strain. You can take 2 strain and have 2 blue dice.
Sure, yes.
So you write down 2 strain, and you successfully hit him.
Hooray!
But don't get off the stun quality. So how much does your shock gloves do?
They do plus
Plus
0,
0.
but
So your
stun
strength
3.
of 2, so that he has to get 2 advantages to activate that stun part.
Okay.
So you got you do 1 damage to him.
Ha!
Which well, actually you do 2 damage to him, which he then soaks.
He's still alive?
Yep.
So far.
And with your 1 advantage, you can reduce your strain by 1.
Sure.
So have you killed any more?
No, you have not. So who is the second party member to go?
I can go unless somebody
I'm
else
happy to
wants.
go. Who's still up at the
Okay.
moment?
So we have a knife guy, we have a guy without weapons,
Yeah.
Who was the axe guy?
and then you've got the axe guy who's dropped his axe and switched over to his heavy blaster.
I may,
His heavy blaster rifle, actually.
I may suggest that one.
I'm thinking that guy, but can I use a if I want to just yell at the party, get the captain kind of thing? Can I do it? Is that a free action, or is that I have to use a maneuver for?
You can do that.
Okay, cool. I thought I'd check. So I'll use one aim, and then I'll shoot at the captain with my auto still off at the moment, so it's not gonna.
I've got it down as off at the moment.
Yep. And so I'll shoot him with one gunnery for agility.
Okay, so that goes away. One of those goes away. Okay, so you succeed doing that's 15 damage to him.
Wow. Nice.
So he takes 10.
Nice.
I've got a pierce as well of 1. Does that help?
So he'll take 11.
Very nice.
And you get a choice of either suffering 1 strain or, well, you've got no maneuver, so you need to take 1 strain.
I'll take 1 strain, yeah.
Who's next? You gonna have a go at
I was gonna
guys?
say it's pirates.
It is the guy who has no weapons. He spends his maneuver to pick up the grenade. And who's he going to throw it? He's going to throw it at Ross. Let's see if he can do a girly throw at Ross. As in the, is he angry enough to actually hit? He's angry enough to hit.
Wow. Okay.
So that is 1 net success and 2 advantages. I do not think it will actually trigger the critical hit. No criticals.
I thought it's a stun grenade, isn't
It
it?
is a stun grenade. So
Yeah, so it's going to do 8, base 8, which is going to knock me out.
9 damage. 9 damage, no pierce. Your soak does apply.
Yeah, it knocks me out. It drops me down to 0.
Okay.
If he didn't get an additional success, I would have just, on 1 strain.
Well, it was a successful toss. He was quite angry. I believe that because you've been you're down considered knocked out, so no actual extracorporeal injury for you.
Yeah.
Then it is party members go.
I would.
I collapse to the ground. That's my go.
Good job. I think I'll go for the guy attacking Ross. Is that going to take me a lot of moves to get to him?
Well, no one's engaged with you at the moment, so you can do one maneuver to engage with
That's
him.
the one
Yep.
you've been attacking.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh no, the one who threw the grenade, or the one who.
She's been attacking
There
the
you
one
go.
that threw the grenade.
Are you going for the one who threw the grenade, or the one who's shooting at him with the heavy blaster rifle?
There's
The leader, the pirate captain.
Oh yeah.
I think the guy that's next to my downed guy.
Okay, so the pirate captain it is. So I'll show you the dice you get to use.
Yep. Can I spend 2 strain to
Aim.
aim?
You can. So that is the dice pool you're against.
Put it right over here. The shot dice can be gotten by people. He can see that, so that'll probably stay as whatever it is.
So luckily those
I don't
two
know what any of that
cancel.
means. It doesn't look as
Those
good.
two cancel. Okay, you got 1 advantage.
Yeah, okay.
You can give someone a blue dice.
I will do that then.
Next person to act gets a blue dice. Who hasn't acted?
I would like to go
Yep.
with these.
Who would you like to go against?
I would like-
Mr. Axe guy who switched over to his blaster rifle, or the guy who's got no weapons?
Stun grenade guy.
Okay, stun grenade guy.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're
so
gonna do try and check the Van Blaze attack.
you're going to aim after moving in
I will move.
for 2 strain.
Did he disengage with me?
He did disengage. He,
Yeah, I'll aim for 2 strikes.
so that is a critical hit,
Nice.
which is an instant kill if you'd like it.
yes.
Dead.
And you can
Finally got you guy.
So that leaves 2 advantages. You can give a specific player a blue dice if you wish to, or give the next active player a blue dice and recover 1 strain.
With Ross down am I able to do any advantage to make sure he's not dead?
Oh, he's not going to die. He
Okay.
got knocked out with a stun grenade.
Okay, so he's
stable.
he's stable. He's just sleeping. Okay.
He's unconscious for an hour or so until
I
someone
would like
stabilizes
to
him.
give advantage to our heavy gun person, Ash.
Okay. You specifically give it to Ash. Who's the next person to act? If they haven't acted yet.
It would have been Ross, but Ross is down at the moment.
So everyone's
Yeah.
acted, so it is leader guy. Leader, seeing Ross down, turns his gun around on Ariadne. No, on Kayana. Because you
Yeah,
just took down the next major
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your range defense?
1.
1. And he's going to aim twice.
I'm gonna die.
Well, he's got strain. If he doesn't use it, he is an idiot.
Yep. Look at all
Okay, so that and that gets rid of that.
Yep.
Leaving him with 3 net and 2 advantages. Neither of those is going to be a crit, so he does just straight damage of 13 damage to you.
Okay.
Your soak will stop it.
Yep.
He really should have activated auto fire, but he hasn't been because it adds an extra dice, but he keeps forgetting to do so. Because that would have
Good for
been
us.
20 damage on top with the extra damage on top.
Okay. I'm looking not so great, but we're still up and kicking.
It's okay. I've been sitting on two wounded at the moment for a
And
whole
he's going to give a
start.
blue dice to the knife guy, who's the next person to act.
Stabby.
Mr. Stabby
Mr.
Stabby.
Stabby.
So Mr. Stabby has 2 blue dice thanks to his friend. All the more to stab himself with, apparently. So with his 4 failures and 4 advantages, he flings our Gungan's stun weapon out of the way for 3 of those.
Okay.
And with his last one, he gives his next ally a blue dice.
Okay.
So you still got your stun punching things, but you don't have the sonic weapon.
Right. Let's see. Weapon to use. I will pull out my 8 gauge scatter gun.
Yep.
All the guns.
Yep.
All the guns, all the time.
If you do shoot him without moving, you will hit yourself. Or you could just punch him.
In the face.
Or backhand slap sounds good one.
Possibly kind of damage.
Which would count as a punch, I'd
Hit
say.
him with the shock gloves.
I will use the shock gloves. And what do you need to know?
You can also use a force point to upgrade that to a yellow and aim.
We are at the end of not the end of the round, but keep in mind, he can use the dark side points against us. But not inside, so we'll bribe him with food next time.
Sure, do the upgradey thing.
That means you've got more chance of nice things happening. Okay, so you got an advantage. You can
Is that
recover.
it?
Yeah, that's all he got. He can activate his
Wow.
strain. We'll
That
notice a
sucks.
single important point which doesn't really help at this point. Or
Pants, is that
or give the
important
next blue.
When next to punch that guy to knock him off?
Doesn't give you a mechanical benefit. It's more
Oh,
like
okay.
finding a weak point on a speeder or something like that.
And give the next player an advantage, and our next player can be Mark.
Sure, give the next person an advantage.
Okay, next person gets an advantage.
So he should get 2 blue dice, because I named him,
Mhm.
and he's the next player.
Would Mark like to go next?
I would love to go next with those extra dice. Thank you, everyone.
So who would you like to shoot at?
I will shoot at the boss. The
Boss?
bad guy.
Would you like to aim twice at him?
I have it. I'm just checking my strain right now. I can do that. Yes.
Okay.
So I'll aim twice, and I would like to, if possible, take his head off. But we'll see how we go. But,
You could also spend a force point.
Nah, I don't know. I've got enough dice. I think.
Well, it would change one of your green to a yellow.
Nah, I'm okay with it. I don't want to.
Well, I'm
I don't
going to
wanna go.
upgrade one.
I think you should. So since it's Martin decided he was.
That's fair enough. I can understand you.
Last chance.
No, okay. I've got 2 blues and plus the lots of other dice. So.
Okay, so cancel. So that is a critical hit on him,
Nice.
technically, and with 3 net successes, you can then upgrade the critical once with your, because you've got 6, so you can basically add 10 to your critical hit roll after determining damage. So that means you're doing, so that's 3 on top of this, that's 16 for this one. I don't think he has enough hit points left, so he's definitely going down.
11.
You took one down.
So
Captain's dead.
with his 16 mine, well,
The other 2
technically
run.
they don't die straight away unless he crits kills him, in which case you can actually capture the living.
Oh.
Just most of the others on 0 die.
Right.
That's why the Nemesis always survives. So that was his soak of 5, you did 6. So that is plus 12 to the dice roll. So with the critical hit, plus 22, adding to 62, so that's 84 on the critical hit. But you also got vicious 10, so that's 94.
Nice.
So it's the vicious one.
Oh, okay, yep. Okay, that can make sense, yeah. Yep.
So it's 92, so...
What a
now-
pity I didn't do the hit, because it would have been plus 30 for me.
So he's now at the brink. If he was to perform an action, he could automatically take 1 strain. As that was the first level of hard critical hit, which is the level 3 critical hit.
Yeah.
And daunting is the where you start losing arms and limbs. So yes, you've managed to take him down, and the other guy just goes, "I give up."
I was about to say, drop the knife.
Nice.
He does it as a free action because, well, you've just peppered the other guy down, and
Yep.
while he was invincible,
Okay.
all the others were willing to keep fighting on. So you have managed to capture 2 people and take the rest down.
Nicely done.
Okay. Okay, that sounds fair.
Teamwork. We've got left.
Do we have any cuffs or any sort of shackles that we can...
I do, because everyone
Yeah.
else said, what would we need binders for? And I suggested we get 2. And they
Arthur had
said
them, but Arthur was no
no.
longer here, so that's why I thought I'd ask
You
the
did
question.
100% say that.
Yeah, and that was actually what was
It's really
said, and then you got uses
Yeah.
for it. So you can actually gain a bounty on the pirate captain
Nice.
and his man left over. Unless the bounty's on the people you killed, because they generally pay more for the living than for the dead.
Yep.
And then you can recover Khalid and say you missed out on the awesome battle that was continued
Yep.
for hours after you went down.
Yeah, we were going at it all night. So much fun.
And I think that would be a good point for us to finish tonight, because it is 11:30 and some of you have to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the combat? As it was basically 1 pirate captain, 2 lots of crew, and a shipjacker.
Yeah.
He was basically, his skills were breaking into the ship, but he couldn't get to it because there were people in between.
Yeah, well, that was the whole point.
Oh, look, when you said Jack the Heavy Guy, I'm going, oh no, here we go. Look, that's all good. I'm very happy that I survived that first round, because I thought...
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, you didn't get the axe guy to attack you yet. With
Oh, no, he-
Vibro axe.
I think he hit me with he blasted originally, because I was down to 2 wounds originally. I was sitting there going, wow, this is a good first combat for my poor Death
I
Watch
was gonna
guy.
say, it actually was a pretty good
And I
combat.
was sitting there going, oh,
Stuff.
as long as everyone catches up, I'm okay. And then once I got away and wasn't targeted, I was feeling a bit happier. So
It would have been probably a little bit different if I didn't lose the bloody Vibro sword.
Oh yeah, but no, I think it sounds good combat, and I'm learning a bit about the different skills on the weapons, which I didn't know
And-
before. So that's a good thing.
And applying the thing with the most threats or advantages first before going down makes the game
Yeah.
more cinematic instead of I remove blast rain, I add blast rain,
Yeah.
because that is not how it was meant to be run as I was reading through the stuff. You're only supposed to take one from each result unless there's nothing else you can take, and then you
Yeah.
apply it to strain.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I'll look at the I'll look at the Word document again tonight, Mark, because I thought I didn't. I put just a copy off the website last night, so maybe I'll double check the spreadsheet.
Well,
Word
your
document.
so the PDF I sent you actually has it all filled out in there, and all you have to do is just open it and look at it.
And you can
Okay.
edit that in Microsoft Edge.
Yep.
Oh, in Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, Microsoft
Maybe.
Edge allows you to annotate as if it was a Adobe Writer.
I will find out because I opened it up in Word directly without feeling, so maybe that was the problem. So, okay, that's my problem, but that's okay. I'll check again tonight and go, oh, I didn't need to put that extra page I did. So, that's okay. Thanks on that. That's good. As I said, I just took the Superior. Yeah, with the Superior stuff, it just means that certain values go up and down. Is that how it usually works?
They've been applied to it already.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Just
with
alright.
Superior and the armor, you get an additional soak and
Yep.
one less encumbrance. With the weapon, it's one less encumbrance, but the damage goes up by one.
Okay, cool. That's all. I'm trying to remember all this stuff.
We're going to do the end
So,
credit stuff, so we'll finish up with that for
Yep.
the moment. Sorry, I'm also a little distracted. So thanks, Mike.